Yeah, a pretty good match-up there with himself and Lillico. Lillico's been in terrific form for the doggies. And the Double Blues kicking to the southern end. Burton's lining up at full forward, but he's actually out across half forward. And Big Conway in a ruck DB. Let's get us away.
With the umpire, he's about to thump it into the turf. Moller, the Conway for the Double Blues. It's actually Conway got the tap, but immediately taken out of the centre there by the doggies up towards centre half forward. An opportunity there for the Double Blues, but chipping in the gown. He gave it to his teammate. In fact, he just handed it to him. The umpire said play on as the ball is out towards the half-back. Kicked off the ground by Conway towards the boundary line. In fact, he put it out on the John Bull, I think, and the kick to be taken out there for the Double Blues. No, by the doggies, I should say, and Hamblin. Hamblin in towards the centre, going in hard to try and get the ball with Gowns. Got the handball out, trying to burst his way through there. His play, he's caught with the footy, is he? Yes, and a good decision by the umpire. And the Double Blues immediately play on with a handball as it comes from Patura, but that's a shocking handball. It went to foul and went straight through his fingers and out of bounds.
Well, it didn't even go to foul. It went, he'd have to be Andre the Giant to get that. Patura was 3 metres away, 2 or 3 metres away from him, handballed it over his head. Absolutely disgraceful. The throw in on the outer side wing, directly opposite our 5 RPH commentary team. The ball goes up, comes down to no one in particular. There's 3 or 4 players diving on the ball. Can we get anyone out? We quick. Cam with Lennon in there, was it trying to get through, but it's been held up, and it's going to be another throw up on the centre wing, right opposite our 5 RPH commentary on the outside of Adelaide Oval. No score yet. We've just played over a minute here in the first quarter, Sturt versus Central Districts. Umpire comes in, bounces the ball, which is good, so it indicates that the ground is okay. The big thump comes back from the Sturt ruckman. A quick kick off the ground, goes up to half forward, leading in the race. The ball is the Central's defender, and that player there was Guerrero, who's been pretty good for Central so far. The ball comes in, Burton couldn't take a mark, backs up pretty well, gets it over to Lennon. Lennon off the one leg, gets a drop punt up to the full forward, looking for the big collar in white. Can he take it? Yes, no he can't. Looked like he was actually going to blow his whistle and pay the mark, but couldn't do so, and there we go. Undies has caught it. He thought it might have been a mark, but he didn't hold it long enough.
Good, you don't have to be dead to be stiff, Corey. If you don't mind, he's had a couple of goes at that. Surely give the boy a kick.
You're a very generous man, Undies. I don't know if he held it.
Right, bounce down inside the attacking 50 for the Double Blues, taken out of the air there by White. He comes back to him. He tried to kick it up with the left boot, but he ran into a nest of doggies as the ball comes out from Lillico. The handball wasn't that crash hot. In fact, the ball ends up with Gown on the left boot. He's looking for the boundary line twit there, and also met by Guerra, and both go over the boundary line for a throw-in right stand side between centre wing and half forward.
Very solid leg, Guerra. Keep an eye on him, because this could be his last game for the doggies today. He could be up in the Port Power side very soon. Yeah,
good point. I think he's got a lot of class, a lot of skill. The ball is taken by the Double Blues and kicked up inside the attacking 50. And speaking of the devil, Guerra's got it, but he goes to ground. No being tripped. The umpire says play on. In there is the Gowns. The handball comes out from White. Here's a good change of handballs. A chance now for Wood. He's put it across the face of goal and out of bounds. No, it's through for the minor score, in fact. So the first score on the board, the Double Blues, they're one behind. They lead the doggies yet to score.
Corey, now you mentioned Guerra going up to Port Power. Is there something you know that you haven't told us?
Oh, I don't think it'll be Einstein to work out. There will be changes there this week.
Well, Guerrera's going to have the ball at full back. He's going to bring it in. Setting up a pretty good zone defence. All got their hands up. Guerrera's looking for an option, and the best option in that sort of case is come straight down the field. And the big fellow there in the Central's player in Radley Muller drops what he should have taken, but then he backs it up pretty well. Player comes back in, Sturt again, force the ball out. A little quick, short kick over there to Atkinson. Can Atkinson mark? And he does so. He's marked around about 45 metres out on a 45-degree angle, kicking towards the southern end.
It's going to be a bit of a test for Brody, isn't it, boys? He's you're right, 45 metres out. The jams is just in front of him. He's going to struggle to get over it. Certainly he'll get it to the square distance, although the ball is quite new, and it's the lightest it's going to be. Comes in now. Oh, he's just fed the ball off, and Bruce Lennon has taken the ball 40 metres out directly in front. Much better option for Brody. Did it pretty well. Bruce Lennon, a lovely kicker of the football. Distance won't be a problem. And let's not put the mockers on him, because, again, accuracy shouldn't be a problem. Lines up. Lovely looking kick. And he hasn't let us down. The Beetlejuice, he snuck one home. That's third first. And on the Times arm throw to a scoreboard. They move along to 1 goal, 7 points. And the doggies are yet to score. Bruce Lennon, much better option for him there, Corey, rather than Brody Atkinson. Good play, good decision.
Good play there by Brody Atkinson. Look upfield and see the loose Bruce Lennon. A little quick short kick over Corey. Marked, and Bruce Lennon didn't let him down.
Yeah, clever footy.
Yes, and good play there by the big bloke. I thought in Conway to get the ball to Atkinson, actually, off the left boot too. Up goes the bounce, and once again, Conway the tap down. Coming through with home, but the ball ends up spilling out to centre wing and a high left footer up towards half forward. Maloney in front, taps it down to his teammate there, and the handball came out from Robinson, but it missed its target. And the players go to ground with the footy underneath them, and there'll be a bounce down right on the attacking 50 for the Doggies, and that's the first time the ball has actually reached that area for the central side. The umpire with the footy about to thump it down. Down it goes into the turf. Any number of players around the ball. Big thump there by Jewett. Was up towards half forward, going in hard there to try and pick up the ball. Here's a chance for the Doggies. The handball out to McGowan. McGowan from about 20 goes bang and puts it straight through the high little middle. So a quick reply by the Doggies. Their one goal. They trail a double lose 1-1-7.
Good play there by the central side, looking inboard to see running players. McGowan on his own.
Yeah, very slick. Use the options very, very well. And that's what Sturt has to stop. Sturt can't let centrals get loose like that and just be able to create stuff, because that's where they'll really cut them apart today.
Rick McGowan, a very good play. The engine room, the creative as far as centrals are concerned, picks up a lot of the ball. Being tagged at the minute by young Andrew Whiteman, hasn't played a lot of footy. He's going to be a big task for that young fella this afternoon.
Well, it's Conway up against Muller in the centre of the ground. The umpire bounces the ball. Good bounce too, nice and high. Conway gets up and goes over the top and knocks it the double blues way. Quick handball out, and that comes out. There's a long kick in forward, looking for White again. Can he mark this one? No, chipping in and taking. Well, should have been a mark. It was pushed in the back, but anyway, comes out to White. White with a quick hurry left foot kick. Screw punt, bouncing. Will it get there? Brody Atkinson's the first one. Gets easily around his mate and puts through another goal for the double blues. Good shepherding work there by the team. Good team work by Sturt, and well played by White. It's Brody Atkinson's first goal.
It was. Woosnam was the guy offering the shepherd there. A good team play it was. There were two on one. Woosnam just made sure he took the centrals player out of the equation, and Brody just ran in for the easiest of goals.
Luck's of fortune, DB, isn't it? Whitey has pushed that fellow fair in the middle of the hammer and tack. Ball's filled his way, left foot around the corner, as the rain is not too far away, DB, I wouldn't have thought.
No, you're right there, Undies. The rain falling as the former Sturt great comes up the stairs at the same time in Johnny Halbert. It's good to see that John and I have got the same amount of hair these days. The ball is thrown out in the centre, a right footer up towards half forward. Burton in front, and takes the mark in front of his opponent, dodges around him, goes on the right boot. He's looking there for White. White up. And the double blues about 25 metres out.
I said they had to start strong, and they had to start as if they really meant business, and they've done that exactly that, the double blues. Put this one on the board, and they are well underway. Well,
good to see White playing in front too this time, and he's actually attacked the ball pretty well a couple of times. Undies dropped a couple of marks early, but now this time he's taken the mark and will kick from around about 35 yards out.
You're right, Smith. He's the sort of player that needs to get a touch early. He's a confidence player. It was a mongrel punt come in from Burton, and Whitey just snuck in, got it on his chest, and 25 metres out, pretty much directly in front. Wanders in, gives it a bit of a poke, and it goes straight through the middle. Umpire gives it the affirmative. That's the third goal for Sturt. One of the Trans Arms Hotel scoreboard, DB. They're travelling along beautifully.
Yeah, Corey's made a good point. We saw them against Westies, and Stephen White took a couple of big grabs early, but his kicks for goal was shocking, and I think he lost all confidence that day. I think Corey's right. This could be a great start for the double blues.
Well, the ball going back to the centre of the ground. Now, on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard, it's Sturt 3 goals, 1-19. They lead Central's 1 straight goal, and you couldn't get a better start if you're a Sturt supporter here. You've got Conway up against Bradley Muller again in the centre for the double blues. You've got Weatherald and Lennon. Twit on the wing. You've got Holm, McGowan and Bellow in for the Doggies. Up they go, Conway again. No one really gets a quick clear bounce. McGowan does get tackled pretty well. Cowell gets shuffled out to Weatherald. He's been tackled pretty well there by Chris Gowans, and the umpire has no other option but to come in and bounce the ball.
The switch between Burton and White from full forward to centre forward actually seems to be paying off at the moment.
At the moment it is, yep. Again, Conway up against Muller. Conway pushes away, takes it, then gets a quick handball out. No one in particular. Holm finds it. He gets it over his teammate. A little short kick out there to the player there. Again, leading with the ball, and that's Gowans. Gowans leaves it out for his teammate. Again, Gowans races in, gets the ball. He's clear possession. Can he pick it up? He can't, and it's his teammate again who fits it in, and it's coming out towards the full forward area. Oh, good. Gives it over to the Johnny Lee, and it's going to be the best of the centre. This is quite great. discrimination goal, and that's Central District second. 2 goals, they go to 12 points. They trail Sturt 3 goals, 1-19 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. And courtesy of Michelle's Patisserie, we'll go back to the studio and get scores from around the grounds.
Port Adelaide 1 straight goal 6, leading the Eagles yet to score. South 2-1-13, North Adelaide yet to score. And Norwood 2 straight goals 12, lead West Adelaide 1-1-7. Those scores thanks to Michelle's Patisserie at Tea Tree Plaza.
Yeah, back here at the Adelaide Oval, I thought Double Blues unlucky not to get a free kick over there. Big Ford had the ball with the handball and actually threw it away with the left hand. The umpire allowed it and resulted in a goal. The Doggies. Down goes the bounce. Conway doing the best in the centre with a backhanded tap. Coming out there at 100 miles an hour with Squire. The ball is picked up by Whiteman. He goes bang up towards half forward and a good mark taken by Lennon, who drifted across in front of Burton to take the mark. Lennon on the right boot now. He's looking for Big White. White caught under the ball. Can he take the mark? No, it's thumped out here towards half back. There's Doggies everywhere. Hopwood with the handball over the top. Big Moller's got it. Oh, the handball's come out of the chance now for the Double Blues as the player there in Whiteman kicks it up towards the full forward area. Atkinson there with Weira. Both players take it over the boundary line for a throw in left full forward pocket at the southern end. And that's the end the Double Blues are kicking.
They are still fighting hard, Sturt. Not looking as slick when they go forward as the Doggies do, but they are going forward a little bit more often, so that is probably the advantage there. But they are fighting hard, and that's what I'm liking to see.
And the boundary throw in left full forward pocket. Big White tries to do it with the left hand, can't do so. Away comes the Doggies though through Gowans out towards centre wing on the outer side of the ground, showing a bit of speed there is Healy, I think it is.
Yeah, Healy.
Forced back up to the boundary line, easy as you like. And a boundary throw in at centre wing and half forward on the outer side of the ground.
Could have been paid a free kick against him there. He did hang on to the ball a little bit long there. Could have been an easy free kick to Double Blues.
Well, he took the negative option. He just stepped back over the boundary line.
That's isn't that called deliberate?
Well, you would think so. The ball's thrown in, and there's once again the big thump up towards half forward, picked up by Hopwood. Has he kept that in? I think he has. No, he hasn't. He's just drifted out. The breeze actually blowing across the ground from west to east. And just a slight Nugget Reed here today, and actually he is here, Nugget Reed.
We have seen Nugget,
yep. To him earlier, and that ball out of bounds centre wing on the outer side.
And the Double Blues player is going to bring it in. A little short, quick kick again. And gee, Sturt is setting up some options here. They've got plenty of loose players. And the player comes in with a kick straight into the man of the mark. And the Sturt boys wouldn't be happy with that. Conway again comes in. Lennon over the top of the ball, fighting very hard for it. Again, over the top is 3 or 4 players, and it comes out again to the Sturt players. But again, the big players are going off the boundary. Again, 3 or 4 Sturt players. Another quick kick forward. Nothing really happening. And the ball's gone out of bounds on the full on the outer side.
Say it again. Raise that point again. Not highly effective, but they are hard at it, the Blues.
They certainly are hard at the moment. And the drop punt comes in a little short, quick for the leading Whites. But again, jumping in the way. I can't pick that player up.
He gets Hopwood.
Hopwood. Good mark. Yep. Jumped in the front of the leading player there in Whites. The long kick down to almost half forward there, over the back, and it's let the Centres player run on it, and he's picked it up, has had one bounce. Goes in long drop punt kick, and there's Bello, but he's taken a good mark there with 3 goals. 3 goal on him straight away, plays on, comes out the outer side here, and we'll pass over to DD.
Yes, Joseph Dixon gets past Squire, hits on the right boot, goes to the front, and the player there has made a magnificent position. Like Marco Bello, and he's in the pocket. He's looking for options, but yes, and there's the lead on, and easy as you like comes Healy into the bait space and takes the mark. Has increased the margin for error, and he'll kick for goal about 30 metres.
Yes, Daniel Healy did it pretty well, didn't he? Marco Bello saw him, he thought, well, let's give it across. And because I can't kick from here, it's a tough pocket. But Healy comes in, pretty difficult angle, 45 degrees, distance won't be a problem. Gee, I tell you what, he's made an absolute meal of that. And I don't think he has just snuck it in for a behind.
Well, I'd suggest the goal umpire and the boundary umpire go and get their eyes tested, because if that didn't go out of bounds on the John Bull, I'm not here.
Yeah, well, Fred Gold's going to bring it in. The scores now, that's Central District's first point. They get a 2 goals, a 1-13. They trail the Double Blues 3 goals, 1-19. Threadgold again, as we've seen in the past, goes straight up the middle looking for Conway. Can he mark the ball? No, he can't. Comes over the back, and it's a Sturt player. Again, another low kick. The Sturt players keeping the ball in low for their forward line. It does give the Central District player an opportunity to get the front position, and it's been tripped, and he has turned around and did point the way. But Radley Muller's got the ball in the centre of the ground. He goes in long looking for another Central District player. Marco Bello's made front position again. Couldn't hold it, and there's 3 or 4 players over the top of the ball. The umpire's got no other option but to come in and bounce the ball.
Yeah, once again, the Sturt players just aren't quite using the ball as well as they'd like. Their skills are a little bit off, and when they get the chance, the Central's guys are turning it over and bringing it back into their forward line. A little bit scrappy at the moment, and with the weather looming, let's hope it can keep away.
Right, bounce down just outside the attacking 50 for the Dogs. The thump from forward. It ended up coming back to him. He throws it on the right boot up towards full forward. McArdle up, couldn't take the mark. Off hands a chance over the double blues as Powell picks it up and kicks out to Pachura. Pachura in the back pocket virtually looking for options, then gives it back to Lennon. Lennon feints the handball, then goes with a pass in towards the centre. That's a poor option for a player with a lot of experience. It was a very poor option, and it's given Stewie Dew the opportunity to kick from about 53, and I'll tell you what, he'll make the distance.
He certainly moves. He's got the wind behind his back, so he will certainly make the distance. You tell me, Stewie Dew, does he look out of shape to you? Does he look overweight?
He looks like he's been in a fair paddock, the same paddock that Smithy and I have been in. But as he goes forward, he's just overcooked a little bit. Distance again wasn't a problem.
I reckon you've been a bit harsh on Stewie Dew. I don't think he looks that bad. I think he looks in pretty good shape. He's moving all right. I don't think you look in that good a shape. Nothing he does.
Nothing like loading the gun and just pulling the cock back, isn't it?
Well, Threaded Gold's going to bring the ball back in again for the double blues. Central setting up a pretty good defence. Leaves Threaded Gold another option, but to go in high and on the outer side, making front position was Conway. He dropped what he probably should have taken. Again, Central District's over the top of the ball. 3 or 4 players around, gets the ball over to Muller. Muller turns around on the little short kick to left footer. Clever. And his very, very good kick, and has found his teammate. And I've got to wait to see who that one is there, DB.
Gowns.
Gowns again. Started off pretty well. Gowns has marked it around about 50 metres out, and will make the distance also.
Radley Muller got past Maloney far too easily then to affect that kick away on the left boot. He had him in his sights and just let him brush him aside.
Yeah, for a big fella, he showed pretty good skills, but he did just get it a bit too easy. Chrissy Gowans has a shot for goal. They're both behind the goal like it. There's a couple of fans there giving it away. The Central's flags go up, and it is home. A goal to the Doggies. Takes them on to 3-2, 20 leading Sturt, 3-1-19 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard.
And courtesy of Michelle's position, we'll go back to the studio and get scores from all around the grounds.
Carlton 9-6-60 lead the Kangaroos 8-4-52, and Hawthorn 6-3-39 lead Richmond 5-4-34. Those scores thanks to Michelle's Patisserie at Tea Tree Plaza. Back to Adelaide.
Back here at Adelaide Oval, it's Central Districts by 1 point over the double blues.
Yeah, good game here thus far as the umpire thumps it into the turf once again. The big chap in Conway tapped it straight down to Bellow. Bellow to McGowan. Away go the Doggies up to half forward. Big pack of players stumped away by Maloney. Comes back to McGowan, who followed up beautifully. The handball's a beauty out there looking for his teammate in Slade, I think it is. He bends down and picks up the ball. The handball comes out to Bellow. Bellow to Juju trying to get round on the high. He'll get a free kick. And there's no doubt he was met high, but he just happened to go down the ground as the Sturt player came through, and that accentuated the action, what the umpire saw, and it'll be a free kick to Stewie Dew.
Yeah, they were on him pretty quick smart there, Stewie Dew, and just a bit overzealous. I think it was Maloney there it was that crashed over the top and showed he meant business, and Stewie Dew came up with a free kick, having a shot from goal about 35 metres out. With his left foot, lets it fly. I like it again behind the goals. The red, blue and white flags go up again. That's the goal to Stewie Dew. 4th goal for the Doggies. 4-2-26. They lead Sturt 3-1-19 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard.
All of a sudden, Undies, the situation started off pretty well, but Central just kept in their game plan, and now all of a sudden they find themselves 7 points in front.
Well, at the 10-minute mark, I was kicking myself that I didn't get down there and have a lazy dollar or two on the double blues, but now, given that it's pretty close to quarter time, or just rolling over the 18-minute mark, the Doggies are on their way back, and Sturt would want to get a quick reply so they don't lose track.
Bounce down in the centre once again. Moller and Conway. Conway takes the ball out of the air on the second grab. Up towards half forward. The Doggies defending brilliantly as it's finally taken away for them by Alderhyde. Off to Hyde, gets it out there to half back, and he goes straight for the boundary line. If that wasn't delivered, I've never seen. Hopwood went straight for it. And the umpire has allowed it, and there'll be a boundary throw in on the outer side, half-back flank for the Doggies.
Fair crowd in today, Corey. You'd think probably 2,000?
I think so too, and as I said, the rain was looming there for a while, and I thought they might have kept a couple away, but they haven't. They've come out, and it's good to see.
Right, the ball thrown in and kicked high, but it's going to be all the Doggies, and into the van goes McGowan, and already has picked up a number of touches, has Rick McGowan. He goes onto the right boot towards centre wing. The lead there from Bellow. With him, though, is Squire. Bellow in makes front position. The ball comes back to Squire. He taps it back to his teammate in Pachura. Pachura in turn gives it to Powell, I think it was. No, not Powell. trying to pick
Curtis,
up that
I think. Curtis, I think.
Curtis it is, and the ball forced over the boundary line for a throw-in right in front of the temporary stands out here at the Adelaide Oval on the outer side, right in front of one of the light towers. The other one's missing. I think it was removed yesterday as the ball is thrown in. Up they go. The tap down. Beautifully read off hands by Lennon. He gave it to Pachura on the familiar left boot. Oh, 3 doggies up. The ball comes down. A chance now for Lennon to pick up the ball. Oh, threw it to his teammate there in Curtis. Back to Lennon. Away go the double blues as Lennon bangs it up inside the attacking 50. White's in the van. Oh, he may have got submission behind. The ball spills out. Scratches from one way, then the other. Comes back on the left boot. He's got jumpers ahead of him and a beautiful kick off the feet. And found Burton leading out in front of his opponent, and Julian Burton will line up from about 44 metres.
Good signs from White. Even though he's actually didn't mark the ball, he did actually go hard at the ball, did make himself front and centre, drop what he probably might have taken normally, but at least he's making a contest.
The crowd didn't like it. He got a fair bit of attention, but yeah, you're right. He did put it to the ground. Brodie Atkinson butted up beautifully, turned it inside and found Julian Burton, who's now having a shot from about 40 yards out, pretty much directly in front, and he has shanked that to say the least. He's hooked it right across the face and it's out of bounds on the full. And it is Hicks, I think, Damien Hicks, to take the resultant free kick.
Well, that was a shocker, let's be honest.
I was trying to be nice.
Shanked it, then went straight into the trees, out of bounds, 3 off the tee.
I think he was aiming for the parade ground over there.
Well,
he missed by a mile.
He did miss by a mile. Corey Jones has come on for the double blues, and the player coming off was Andrew Whiteman. As Hicks is bringing it in again, there's 3 or 4 Sturt players to 2 Centrals players. The player picks it up there for the double blues,
Jones.
And that was Jones who goes in forward and finds Woosnam should have a shot from there. He's only probably about 35 metres out, 40 metres out, but goes in short looking for White again. Can he take it this time? Yes, he can. And I like the way White's playing today. He's actually having a go and making himself front and centre and positioning himself and giving the Sturt side a target at the moment.
Yeah, he is presenting himself very well. Still a fairly tight angle there. Woosnam, while he was about 40 yards out before, because of the deep pockets here at the Adelaide Oval, he was on a very acute angle. But White's got it not too dissimilar an angle, but he's a little bit closer for goal. So let's hope he has got his kicking boot on today and he can thread this one. He's probably about the man on the mark's only about 15 metres out from goal, but it is on about probably a greater than 45-degree angle. The umpire's just bringing him around a little bit more too, just making sure he's not cribbing anything here. He runs around now to use the left-footed advantage. He gives a bit of a hook, a bit of a wobbly toe poke helicopter punt that has gone to the near side through for a minor score. Does Blues move along to 3-2-20. Centrals 4-2-26 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard.
Yeah, a couple of opportunities gone begging for the double blues as We're a beautiful left footer, travels about 70 metres and up in front. The mark taken there by Jew goes bang to Lillico. Lillico in the centre gets the handball to Gowan. That's Chris Gowan's up towards half forward. I noticed his brother just came on a moment ago. That's James Gowan, and you're not wrong here. He's got the footy now, if you don't mind. Runs into the open goal, goes bang, but he's just offline and through for the minor score to the Doggies. 4 goals, 3-27. The double blues 3-2-20.
Well, there's certainly nothing wrong with that brand of football. They brought it straight down from the full-back line. The Sturt players didn't touch it, and Gowans probably should have finished that off a little bit better.
They're not twins, are they? Gee, have a look at them, mate. Look,
very similar, aren't
they? They move the same and...
Well, Threadgold's got the ball again. Looking forward to someone to bring it in. Comes out grandstand sign. Looking for 3 or 4 players out here. But again, the Gowans is in front. Couldn't take it. Comes over to Lennon. Lennon gets a quick handball over. He's caught holding the ball. No, luckily. Scotty Lee gets the ball. Goes to the left foot. Looking for centre forward. Sets his team up. And there's the contender for the Cradle Crash mark of the day. And that was taken there by Squire. And quickly plays on, but has been caught. The ball comes out to 3 or 4 Central District players running through in the centre of the ground. The player there with the ball then is Joseph Hicks. He goes in long. Carfoot McCardle comes out, picks up the ball. Another quick handball over there to Stewie Juice. He breaks 3 or 4 tackles. Can he get out of it this time? No, the Sturt players have grabbed him and has been paid holding the ball. Probably a little bit lucky. He did duck his head and could have been given a free kick.
Yeah, it could have been any one of the threes in there, but the umpires picked out the last one, but that's nothing unusual as the left footer goes out towards centre wing on the outer side of the ground. Burton uses his body, which allows Curtis, I think it is, to pick it up and kick it up towards the half-forward flank. A chance there for Atkinson. Taps it on cleverly to Jones. Jones back to Atkinson. Atkinson right up against the boundary. Dodges one way then the other. The kick is beautifully smothered though. Jones goes in after that loose football. Players diving on top of it. Oh, great tackle on Vera there by the double blues, Woosnam. And the ball is back. Yeah, no, it wasn't Woosnam. Who affected that tackle? It was a Rick Snorter.
It was an absolute beauty, wasn't it? The momentum just shifted a little bit, DB, hasn't it? And it certainly lifted Third. The last 3 or 4 contests, every single player has been in and hard under, trying to get the momentum of their team.
I think it was Timmy Witherall now that he's come up looking okay too, as the ball is picked up by Burton. He's hung on to and he forces the ball loose towards the boundary line for a throw in the left full forward pocket, and I think the tempo on both sides has picked up in the last 5 minutes.
Well, it certainly has. We played 24 and a half minutes of this first quarter here. 5 RPH football, courtesy of good, better Bosch.
Boundary throw in, left full forward pocket. Muller makes front position. The umpire has found a free kick. It'll go the way of the big bloke for the doggies. He gets the handball out, gives it to Healy. Healy on the left boot now, brings it out towards grandstand side. Lillicoe at the back. The ball goes over his head. Lillicoe's going to be first there. The ball bounces beautifully for him. He gathers it on the left boot in the true centre wing position up towards half forward. The ball goes over the head of a couple of players there. The handball out from Maloney is beautifully gathered in by Squire. Squire went to kick it to Pachura, and in the end there he gave it to Robinson. Robinson back over the top to Pachura. Pachura on the left boot now. He's got a Guernsey loose in White, well out in front of his opponent on this occasion, Big Moller. And White now outside 50 goes to the lead there of Woosnam, who's in front and takes it on his chest. Good movement of the footy from the double lead. It all started with Maloney out from the back line. Now he goes short, looking for White, who's made front position, but the ball thumped away from him. That may have been a costly error. Hopwood picks it up back out towards the boundary line, and it goes over for a throw-in on the left half forward flank.
And we'll let you take a breather there, DB. Good calling too, and he was non-stop at White again, making a target. Unfortunately dropped again what he might have taken, and that would have given Sturt a real opportunity to have another shot at goal. They do trail by 7 points, and it is 26-minute mark of this first quarter. Throw in outer side of ground. Burton's up against Muller. Over the top though was the Central's player, and that player there was off the hide. Comes out quickly, and the player there is Pachura, goes in long. A bad kick again, and in front is the Central's defender taking the good mark. And that player there was Geister. Geister plays on outer side of ground on the wing. It comes back inboard, takes his Sturt players on, does get through, ends up there with off the hide with another quick kick up forward, and big fella in front there, and that is Conway.
Yeah, Conway, the former doggy, of course, takes the mark centre wing onto the left boot. He's looking there for Getty, went over his head. Chance now for the Dogs as the handball comes out. The player there was in trouble, got the handball away though. A player asking him to tap it out. The ball comes out, a chance for Burton. He's in front of it, he can pick it up. He's about to be tackled there by the Central District player in off to hide the ball towards the boundary line. It comes out to the double blues up towards full forward, but Geister at the back takes the mark for the Doggies to relieve this attack, relieve the pressure just for the moment, as he's got a Guernsey loose in Hopwood, and that's the way the footy goes across the face of goal to the other pocket. And Hopwood now looking for movement further afield. He puts it on the left boot there. He chips it up. He's looking for Lillicoe. Lillicoe in front almost took the mark, and the umpire said Quick got into his shoulder. Lillicoe's twice his size, so he must have been jumping up like a jack in the beanstalk to get on top of his shoulder, but the umpire was there. And the free kick taken by Lillicoe. He goes into the centre. That's not a good kick because in front the double blue player almost fell onto the mark. Gown got the handball out to Joseph Hicks. Joseph Hicks gets the kick away to Geister. Geister has made good position. No, it's not Geister. It's off to hide in the centre of the ground. A shocking kick off the boot. Wobbles up inside the attacking 50. Taking the ball there is Maloney. I think it was Threadgold it was, wasn't it? He gives it over to Powell. Powell into the centre. A chance now for the double blues. There's a kick now from Whiteman out towards the centre wing position. Taken by Burton. Back to Pachura. Pachura on the left boot. The kick smothered though. Up in towards the centre of the wing possession. McGowan went to take the ball and didn't grab it. And the umpire paid a free kick. And what's going to happen here? Will there be a 50-metre penalty? No, the umpire said everything's okay. So Rick McGowan to take the kick centre wing outer side.
Well, McGowan's taking the kick on the outer side. Grandstand. Centrals do lead by 7 points here in the first quarter. Not a lot of options up forward. He comes directly opposite the ground. Doesn't make any real distance, but a good mark there by the Centrals player in Hopwood. A long high kick up forward. Can the Centrals player in McCardle take the mark? Lee's lurking the pack, and so is Holm, the captain, the state captain also for the Double Blues defence. Stands strong. Tries to run through, almost throws it out as the Sturt defender. Threadgold in top there. Gets it over to Twit. Twit with a quick kick, and he does luck for fortune as it falls in the arms of Damien Squire. Squire upfield and finds his teammate, and that player there is Corey Jones. Marks it on the half back line wing grandstand side, Adelaide Oval. Drop front kick looking for Julian Burton. And there's 3 Central players there to 1 Sturt. Weatherald picks off the crumbs very well. Gets a quick handball over to Lennon. Lennon back to Weatherald. Weatherald uses his pace to get through. Goes in long looking for the big fella in white. Can he mark it this time? He's out in front. And a good strong mark there by White. Under plenty of pressure there from his Central District's opponent in Geister. Made front position and did take the mark. And now we'll go back and kick for goal.
Yeah, great mark on his chest there, White. Stephen White just positioned himself beautifully, out-positioned his opponent in Geister and just wrapped it to his chest. Not a bad angle here. He's a little bit tight in the pocket, but with his left foot you'd think, and I don't like putting money on his kick. He's about 45 out. He comes in to let it go now with his left foot. He should hook it back around nicely. Hook it around nicely. He's hooked it around way too far. At least he's put a couple out in the full. He's not blemishing his goal kicking accuracy, is he?
Well, the free kick's going to be taken there by Chris Gowans from the Central side. He goes in short. And over the half-back line there is the running player, and that player there is Joe Hicks, but shipping in is Patura. Patura bangs it back straight over the head, straight through for another goal. That is Patura's first. The Double Blues fourth. They go to 4 goals, 2-26. They trail Central Districts 4 goals, 3-27 by the solitary point on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard.
Well, he snuck in quite nicely, Mark Patura. He wanders down from that wing. He's dangerous, that big left foot of his, Corey. He's quite quick and quite rangy. And why don't we just quickly, while we've got a break here, and check scores from around the grounds, thanks to Michelle's patisserie.
Eagles 1-2-8 lead Port Adelaide 1-1-7. South Adelaide 2-1-13 lead North 2 points. And Norwood 3-2-20 lead West Adelaide 3 straight goals. Those scores thanks to Michelle's patisserie at Arndale. Back to Adelaide.
Back in the centre, the big thump by the doggies there in Arnold. It was towards half forward as the siren goes. And a pretty entertaining first quarter sees the doggies lead by 1 behind at 4-3-27 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. The Double Blues 4-2-26.
And goal scorers so far for Sturt, you've got Patura, Atkinson, Lennon and Stephen White. And for the doggies, you've got Scotty Lee, Stuart Dew, Chris Gowans and Rick McGowan. Scores here at quarter time. It is 4 goals to Sturt. They trail Central Districts 4 goals, 3-27 by the solitary point on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard.
We line up just starting the second quarter here. Your first caller will be the one and only Daryl Smith.
Well, it's Muller for Centrals up against Conway from the Double Blues. Vampires bouncing the ball, favours Conway, gets a quick tap back down to Lennon. Lennon gets a bad bounce. McGowan comes in, tackled by Lennon, but a quick kick out of there by the Sturt half-forward player, and it goes out to Burton. Burton leading in the race of the ball, pushing the forward ball towards the boundary, hoping it would go out of bounds, but it doesn't. The Central District player in Althahide keeps it in, gets a quick, hurried kick up to the centre, and 3 or 4 players there pushed him fair in the middle of the back, and the umpire had no option but to give the Central District player a free kick. Goes out of bounds again, goes towards the outer side of the ground. Scotty Lee, no, it's the captain in Holmes. Takes a good first touch.
First touch of the afternoon. Very quiet in the first quarter.
Played very well in the state game. Goes around on his right, but looking for the leading player in McCardle. McCardle makes front position, goes over his head, and then the player there who picks it up there for Central District is Keenan Ford. Turns around, has a quick kick towards goal, but it goes out of bounds in that to the left forward pockets.
Here's another one that's pretty quiet this afternoon so far. Keenan Ford's been a terrific player for them for the first 5 or 6 weeks. Playing very well at St Ford, giving them an option, but to date hasn't seen much of the leather.
Well, the umpire's throwing the ball back in. Speaking of that player, he gets a beautiful tap over to his teammate, and that teammate there is Stewie Dew. Stewie Dew's kicked his second, a beautiful quick snap around the body, and a good start for Central Districts. They now go to 5 goals, 3-33. They lead the Double Blues 4 goals, 2-26, and that is just the start that they wanted.
Top finish again. Just very classy side of the doggies around the packs, and again the ball came down. Dew just wheeled around, got on his left foot, bent it around his body, fairly tight angle, stuck it through, and it was never going to miss. Very, very good effort there.
Watching Port Power last night, they could have well done with Stuart Dew in their forward line. When they moved the ball in the forward line last night, they had absolutely nothing, and Stuart Dew was a renowned goal kicker. Does particularly well, and I don't think he'll be in the doggy Guernsey for much longer.
I think him along with Guerra could well get a call up.
Well, it's up again, and the player there for Centrals gets a quick tap out is Damien Arnold. Again, it comes to Holmes. So I didn't get to pick up a few touches this time. He gets a hurry kick over there. Back in board as a quick handball, bounces straight through his legs, and that was James Gowans. He dives on the top of the ball, but the umpire there has got no other option but to come in and say, give it to me, boys. I better have that bounce, and it's the big fella Damien Arnold.
He won't be buying his brother a beer tonight because his brother gave it to him. It was an absolute shocker.
Yeah, it was a terrible one, wasn't it? Well, Arnold. Powell gets a quick, and the player there is Twit. He gets a good, solid bump away. Comes with a quick kick up to half forward, but the Central District's halfback there takes a good mark in front, and that's Joe Hicks. Grandstand side on the wing, right in front of the 5 RPH commentary team. He goes back inboard, finds, oh gee whiz, 3 or 4 Central's players running free there, and that's Damien Arnold, the ruckman, goes in long. Gee, 3 or 4 players could have marked that ball, no one did. Again, the umpire has to come in and bounce the ball.
Just that we talked about it in the first quarter there, and how Sturt had to start firing up fully hard, attacking the ball, just leaving no stone unturned, just going straight in a straight line. They haven't done it at the start of the second quarter, and they will need to get on their game very, very shortly.
They certainly will. Keenan Ford goes up and can't take the ball. Again, 3 or 4 players around the ball. The umpire has no other options again. Pretty scrappy game at this stage. Not much happening.
They're struggling a bit again. The Blues just have to get on the game and get on it quickly, because if they give Sturt half a yard for any second of time, the doggies will make them pay, that's for sure.
Over the top there was the Sturt player, and Peter Caven. Was that Caven actually
Yes,
just
it was.
punched that ball? That's the first time we've called his name as well. Hasn't had a touch at this stage either.
Well, actually, probably had a couple of touches in the first quarter, and I might have called him Robinson, so we do apologise for that. There must be some people listening to this broadcast, because I just went down to get a couple of tickle me peaks, and Blake said they're the Gowans are twins. So
There you go.
there you go. The ball thumped down towards Maloney. He's got the ball under his feet. Can't do much with it, though. The ball still at the bottom of the pack. Comes out to Weatherall. The handball is loose, though. Chance, though, for the doggies. It's into a nest of players, and here's a chance for them. The handball comes out from Hamlin. Hamlin gives it over to James Gowans, who goes bang and puts it straight through for a goal. To the doggies, they go along to 6-3-39. The Double Blues 4-2-26.
And courtesy of Michelle's patisserie, we'll go back to the studio and get scores from all around the country.
Yes, Port Adelaide 2-4-16 lead the Eagles 2-2-14. South 4-4-28 lead North Adelaide 1-5-11. And we've got to West Adelaide 3-4-22 leading Norwood 3-3-21. Those scores thanks to Michelle's patisserie at Colonnades. Back to Adelaide.
Well, back at Adelaide Oval, the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard is 26 points to Sturt. They trail Central District's 39. Damien Arnold in the centre of the ground. The doggies, up he goes. Doesn't get the tap, though. Comes down a quick bounce. Holm taps it over to his teammate in Ricky McGann. Ricky McGann gets a hurried kick up. And who's in front? Luxa Fortune. It's Gowans again. Takes a good solid mark under a lot of pressure there from the Sturt defence.
That was James, so that's fan out there listening.
Okay, there's a drop punt going up forward to the McArdle. McArdle in the between 2 Sturt players, couldn't take it, but has been given a free kick against. The umpire's called play on, but the Sturt player was held up, and the advantage is going to come back to the Sturt captain in Threadgold.
Weatherald actually caught it high, Smithy, so it'll go across to little Timmy Weatherald. Doing particularly well as a roving type player. Comes back inside.
Doing a pirouette there.
Yeah, pirouette. He's turned on a tripping bit. Moves out there towards Seamus Maloney. Or was it actually Howman who got the ball? It's found back inside the big Damien Arnold. Comes back inside the home. It's his second touch of the afternoon. He's absolutely poleaxed and driven into the ground. Umpire calls it play on. And there's a number of plays in. The ball actually does spill loose. And we're getting a kick off the ground from Joey Hicks. Didn't go to where he wanted to go. Back to his third opposition player. And Julian Burton finds a easy kick on the chest. Inside to Damien Squire. Kicks it all the way towards the square. Can Big Whitey take a mark? I think he can. Give it to him, umpire. Strike him.
No.
He had enough of that.
How could he not pay that?
How could he not pay that? But in his wise decision, the umpire, Smithy, decided to ball it up.
Well, he was calling it was touched off the boot, but certainly didn't look like touch there. But anyway, the umpire's actually thrown the ball up there, and it's come out, and it looks like it's going to be a 4-3 for a minor score, or is it a goal? The umpires is all crowded, so it's a minor score to the Double Blues. So the Double Blues now go to 4 goals, 3-27. They trail the Eagles 6 goals, 3-39 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. And a very, very messy play there by the Double Blues.
Well, I thought he could have been paid that mark, but anyway, it's history now. The ball is kicked out here to the pocket, offhand to Atkins, and he tries to hook it around with the left foot. Up they fly. The Double Blue player got his hand on it, but couldn't hold it. That was Jones, I think, at the bottom of the pack. The ball forced down. It comes out here to Patura. No, it doesn't. It comes out to James Gowans on the right boot, up towards the half-back lane. Oh, here's a chance now for the Double Blues. Dave tackled strongly, though, as it spills out the back. Is this one of the players there in Caven? Caven tried to get the left boot and couldn't do so. The ball spilled out to Lennon. Lennon on the left boot up towards
good mark,
and this time a good strong mark to White. And I'll tell you what, he is receiving plenty of attention back there from Geister, and this time too strong and takes the mark.
What odds of kicking a goal?
Can we go down the panel, DB? Will he get this?
Yes.
No.
He's on the wrong boot and everything. He'll probably drill it.
Smithy, I'm going to back him from there. It's one of those strange things. You miss him from straight out in front. You get a hard one. You sneak it through. As he comes in, He's beautiful off the boot, and the big fella hasn't let me down. Good on you, Whitey. You've done particularly well.
You didn't get to ask me, but I was going to say no.
He was going to say no. He's kicked his second, and on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard, Sturt needed that. 5-3-37, trailing the doggies 6-3-39, 5-3-33 rather. Andrew, you can't even add up, son. And gee, they did need that. It's against the run of play, Corey, wasn't it, really?
And it is, and that's what's more frustrating about that young kid is he kicks the hard ones but doesn't kick the easy ones.
Well, back in the centre of the ground now, it's McEwen up against the big fella from Central's Ian Arnold. The umpire again taking a bit of time to bounce the ball again. The ball favours McEwen. Gets a quick tap down to Atkinson. Atkinson gets his smothered kick, and that was again forced forward by the double blues. Lennon leads into the race and picks up very cleverly. Gives it over to Weatherald. Weatherald on the outside wing has one bounce. Looking upfield for the leading players. Chooses to go over the back there for the player in Woosnam, is it, who has two players against one, and again it comes out forward. It comes over to Burton. Burton has it. Oh, beautiful play by Burton. Looked up, saw the opening goals, but saw a player there on his own, about 35 metres out, kicked it to him straightly, and a very, very good play. Good thinking by the Sturt recruit in Burton.
Yeah, classy football. Curtis and Woosnam were involved there. It came out to Burton. Burton just lifted the eyes, turned it back inside, and found Jones, who will have this relatively easy shot. 25, 30 yards out from goal. On the left foot again. He's on the right side, and he's threaded it through. That's his first goal. And Sturt move along now, 6-3-39 to Central's 6-3-39. Scores are locked away on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. He's given him a spark, young Jones, as he came on halfway through that first term.
He certainly has, and a couple of years ago, Burton would have had a shot for goal. It just shows that he has matured as a player. Certainly as he's got old, he's matured as a man as well, and he's playing very well at centre forward. I think the move of or the positioning of Burton at centre forward and White at full forward is a good coaching decision by Carman. There's been a lot of criticism of his coaching in the last few weeks, but this afternoon, so far, the double blues are gelling quite well.
Down goes the bounce. It's like a soccer match here. The score is all tied up as the ball is thumped on further afield for the doggies, taken by Hamlin. He goes to ground though. The tackling is ferocious out there. Maloney puts his head down, loses the footy though. Out comes James Gown. Gives it over to Hugh. Hugh breaks away. Kick from about 55. It's a booming drop punt. Will it be marked in the square? It is by Fresgold on the second grab. And he takes off and goes across the face of goal out to the outer side. And there's a player out there in Patura who has made beautiful position and takes the mark on the defensive 50. Dodges around his opponent and Ford does it well. Onto the left foot he goes. The drop punt along centre wing. Big pack of players over the back. Burton's going to be first there, will he? No. It's in fact the player there in Curtis, I think, got the kick away. Here's a chance for Atkinson. Picks it up. Does it superbly. Does Brodie Atkinson. Swings the ball to the head of the square at centre half. Forward up. They fly. Double blue mark. And I'll pick that player up. Maloney has come down from defence to take the mark. I'm not sure what he's like at kicking for goal, but he'll kick from about 45.
Well, I can tell you, DB, he's not actually fantastic at kicking goal. 84 games and 11 goals. Mind you, he does play spend most of his time in the back line. He's a very tall player and quite rangy. One of those loping style players, and particularly with this left foot of his, he comes in now. Distance won't be a problem. He's only a couple of steps out, and he's given a bit of a poke, but it doesn't really matter for the result because the umpire comes in with the affirmative. He gives a couple of fingers, and he's not asking for 2 pies. He's basically saying that's a goal. Sturt 7 goals, 3-45 in this seesaw struggle here at Adelaide Oval. The doggies 6 goals, 3-39.
On the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard, let's take scores from around the grounds from Michelle's patisserie.
Yes, in fact, we've got the result of the Adelaide Cup. Behemoth has beaten Karazi and Oxford Dollar has run third. That's thanks to Michelle's Patisserie at Hollywood Plaza. Back to Adelaide Oval.
Better there, and they've just done me dough.
You've just done your dough?
Not back another second.
Well, back in the centre. Again, Sturt making a charge here. It's 1 goal in front. It's McEwen up against the Arnold. You've got Lennon standing next to McGowan. Atkinson standing next to the player there in Gowans. Comes down to Weatherall. Weatherall with a hurried kick up looking for Burton. Burton making front position. Can he get there? No, he can't. He gets over the back there. The player there is Woosnam as he gets it over. Hurried quick kick looking for the leading player. And a good mark. Good mark by Cow.
Curtis. I think it's Curtis.
Yep. Sorry. Curtis takes a good strong mark. Again, Sturt running the ball very well through the centre, getting it out to the outer side, and again bringing the ball inboard to a leading player.
Very clever footy. They've just picked up the pace again. We talked about that. They seem to be controlling it a little bit. When Sturt are going hard at it, they're getting a lot of the footy. When they're not, that's when Central's kick back. And Curtis it is who has a shot from Moore just inside the 50. It's a very good-looking kick. The crowd like it. The goal umpire likes it. That's the goal. It's his first to Curtis. The scores move now. Sturt rather move on. 8 goals, 3-51. Lead Central 6-3-39 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard.
Well, Sturt have kicked 4 goals in 12 minutes. And remember, in the first quarter, they did start this fast as well. Now, it'll be interesting to see what will come from Central Districts this time. They've kicked 4 goals already in this quarter, and we've just played 13 minutes into the second quarter.
I would suggest Sturt have kicked those 4 goals in about
4 minutes.
6 minutes as the ball is stumped on by Arnold up the centre, or not quite the centre half forward. Hamlin comes through like a train for the doggies, up towards full forward, up out the back, taken by Powell. The handball is good. He's looking out there for Twit. Twit runs the ball in front of him, does it superbly, gets the handball over the top. The double blues have got a sniff here. They found something as it comes to Pachura. Pachura along centre wing. Woosnam in the opposition to Geister. The ball out the back. Woosnam's first to recover. No, it wasn't Woosnam. It was in fact Hicks the first to recover. He got the handball out to big Arnold. Arnold lumbering after the footy, and then that's the worst kick I've ever seen in my life. I think he didn't have the left foot. I think that was the problem. He just banged it on the right, but it's almost though he was having a shot for goal and trying to kick it through the Victor Richardson gate. Well, it's out of bounds on the full now. Pachura kicks the ball back to centre half forward. Up they go. Burton was in the middle of that pack. It's thumped away. Pumped on further afield by Lenham. A chance here now for the double blues, and goes McEwen. The handball back out to Lenham. On the right boot, he hooks it around to the head of the square. Curtis is in front. The ball spills out the back, but it's all the doggies. It's picked up by the big bloke in Moller, it looked like back there. He got the handball out further afield. In goes the Hotwood. He couldn't do anything. The ball spilled back out to Jones. He's kicked around the body. Goes Jones. That is an amazing goal. An absolutely incredible goal around the body, and the double blues have moved along to 10 goals, 3-57. Second goal to Jones. They lead the doggies 6-3-39.
And courtesy of Michelle's position, we'll go back to the studio and get scores from all around the country.
Port Adelaide 3-5-23, lead the Eagles 3-3-21. South 5-6-36, lead North 3-5-23. And West Adelaide 3-3-21, lead Norwood 3-2-20. Those scores thanks to Michelle's patisserie at Mitcham. Back to Adelaide.
Well, Coach Peter Jonas has rung the changes, and he can see that Sturt are getting the ball out of the centre. He's brought his gun ruckman on in Muller to go up against McEwen. Umpire, the ball again favours McEwen. He gets but Muller jumps over the top of him. The first of there is going to be Weatherald. He runs over the top of the ball, gets it, and it comes out here quickly to Pachura. Pachura with the left foot, drop one up forward, looking for Burton. Can he mark the ball? Great mark again by Jones in front. Corey Jones taking a good mark. One-hander. That is the contender for the cattle crash mark of the day so far. He looks forward upfield, looking for big Stephen White to take a mark on the lead, but he's been double-teamed by the Central players. Leading the race, the ball there is Woosnam. He picks it up, gives the ball back there to the player from Sturt, who has a quick kick at goal, and that was Curtis, and it goes through for a minor score. Sturt on a bit of a roll here. 9 goals, 4-57. They lead the doggies 6 goals, 3-39.
The coaching staff for the Double Blues will be particularly pleased with Julian Burton's effort this afternoon. I've seen him lay 5 or 6 shepherds, just giving his smaller players a clear run of the ball. He might not be getting a lot of it himself, but he's making those passages for his teammates.
Yeah, one of the twins off in James Gowans, and coming on is Slade, Matthew Slade, as the ball is kicked out and marked there by Damien Hicks, just still inside the defensive 50. He gives it to Geister further afield, still in the defensive 50 now, kicks it along centre wing. Moller was up in front, the ball spilled out to Pachura. Pachura went for a pass that hopefully he thought was going to go underground. He gives it back to Atkinson, Atkinson back to Pachura. Pachura's got Burton loose, and Burton marks the ball right on the 50. Could kick it if he wanted to have a crack at it, but then goes bang up and towards the square. What's going to happen there? Double blue mark at the back. Back it goes from Woosnam. The double blues are on fire. They move along to 10 goals for 64, and the doggies 6-3-39.
Yeah, great goal there by Woosnam. Just read it well. Burton got it in quickly. Woosnam was at the back, edged his opponent under the ball, took the mark, played on him, banged it right through the middle. I'll tell you what, guys, I'm just a bit worried. Brent Guerra's on the bench for Centrals, and I didn't think he'd done that much wrong, so I hope he's not injured. I'll just keep an eye on that one and keep you updated a little bit later.
Yeah, fair enough, unless we certainly can't be taken up our... oh, don't get too carried away. Plenty of time to go yet, you guys.
Yeah, long way to go yet. The fat lady hasn't even got her stocking on. What are you talking about?
She's still at home.
Well, 4 goals, 1 difference.
Down goes the centre bounce. Moller and McEwen. Moller takes it out of the air, gets the handball out, gives it now to Jew. Oh, beautiful smother off the boot there by Maloney. That was a tremendous smother because Jew was about to sink the slipper into the footy and it would have travelled 100 miles. The ball's out the centre wing, the double blues. The handball comes out there. Chance now has it picked up by Twit. Twit on the right boot, puts it up towards 10.5 forwards. Big White there. Big White comes out and takes the mark to the double blues. He had the run of the footy. He had the pack in front of him. Up he went. The big hand vice-like around the football. And could this be another sausage roll?
Will he kick the goal?
Down the panel, DB. Will he kick it?
Well, it's an easy one, yes. I think he's got his confidence back.
Yeah, I think he will.
Yeah, I think he will, and whatever he's on, Corey, I'd like 1.5 kilos. I'm here to tell you, he's here to play this afternoon. He's in some scintillating touches, Stephen White.
I've lost all confidence in him. I don't think he will.
He's lost all confidence in him. He's in some touches. That was a beautiful lead and a beautiful mark.
Look at that.
He's just tried to caress the ball, and it doesn't matter how many, he snuck it through. And Stephen White, that's his third for the afternoon, second for the quarter. The double blues have kicked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for the quarter. And are they on fire, Corey Wingard?
Is he a confidence player or what? I mean, the crowd gets going, he gets going. Once he's kicked a couple, I'm not going to pick against him again now. I thought he might not be up to it, but gee, he's got his confidence going, and when that's going, the radar's going. He did just poke at it a bit, but he guided it through nicely, and the desired result
That's
for the
all
double
that
blues.
matters, doesn't it? Well, it's back in the centre of the ground again. It's Muller up against McEwen. Again, the bounce favours McEwen. He gets a tap back to Weatherall. Weatherall quickly gets it on to Lennon. Lennon with a quick give back to Weatherall. Lennon player again is White, and guess what? He's taken it again. He's going to kick from around 50. This time he's been told by Burton to go back and have a shot. And again, we'll go down. The DB. Will he kick it?
No, I think he's a bit far out.
I think he's a bit too far out too.
No, Corey, no.
I reckon he will.
Oh, Corey, if you don't mind.
Okay, well, he's going to kick from around about 52, 53 metres. Scoreboard end here at the Adelaide Oval. And G. White's kicking. He's kicked his third, 2 in this quarter. Drop punt, left foot's on its way. Looks pretty good off the foot. Will it make it? This is everyone's flying through. Well, there it goes. That's his fourth, and the double blues are on fire here at Adelaide Oval. And we play 20 minutes into this second quarter. It is 12 goals for 70 the double blues. 12 goals for 76. They lead the central side 6 goals 3-39. Almost doubled their score in this quarter. And courtesy of Michelle's position, we'll go back to the studio and check all scores.
Carlton 10-8-68 lead the Kangaroos 8-6-54. Hawthorn 7-5-47 lead Richmond 5-7-37. The Eagles 4-6-30 lead Port 3-5-23. South 5-8-38 lead North 2-9-21. And Norwood and West 6-4, 40 points apiece. Those scores thanks to Michelle's Patisserie at Mitcham. Back to Adelaide.
Right, the ball is taken by Weatherall, gives it back to Powell. Powell's in trouble, got the ball held to him by Ford, I think it was, for the Doggies, and a bounce down left half forward for the Dogs, who have been blown apart in this quarter, I might tell you. 6-3, they are 39, and they did kick the first 2 goals of the quarter, so the double blues have piled on, they piled on 8, and they lead 12-4, 76.
The difference between the last time we saw the double blues play, Corey, and this time is they're actually playing with a lot more passion.
And the confidence as well. The passion's come, the confidence has come, the crowd's got behind him. I'll tell you what, my boy Whitey's on fire.
Right, the boundary throw in, the ball taken by Ford. Ends up with Twit. He got legs as he went to kick the footy. Chance now for Chris Gowns. He bends down to pick up and threw it away. Twit has recovered. He was hung on to. Comes out to Jones. Corey Jones now on the right boot. He's looking for Burton with the kick wide of that target. Out comes Woosnam. He's gathered it, tackled by Geist. The goes to ground. In goes Big Burton again. He flicks it out. Comes back out to Woosnam. The handball over the top though. And away come the Doggies through Holm. I think it is Danny Holm. Bangs it on the right boot. Not a good kick. Wobbles its way up towards the half forward flank. The ball handballed out. A chance there for Lennon, I think it was. He overruns the footy as the band handball comes out for the Doggies. Here's an opportunity for them. The ball's now picked up by Gowan. Gowan gives it to Lillico. Lillico on the right boot. Up towards the pocket. The double blues are desperate. They go in hard. It's picked up now for the double blues. The ball is thrown out. And there'll be a boundary thrown in the left full forward pocket.
Yeah, certainly the ball was thrown out. It was thrown right off the actual hands as well. And very lucky not to get a free kick there. The umpire's throwing the ball in on the arc of the 50 metres. The double blues player up, takes the ball, gets a good handball out to Atkinson. Atkinson back in towards Twit. Twit using his pace. Has a kick on the outer side of the ground here at the Adelaide Oval, looking up forward there. 2 Central players up, spoil each other. That leaves Corey James down. He overruns the ball, and the ball is socked off the ground. by the Central Districts player there in Jeremy off the hide, outer side ground throw in.
Atkinson has had a bit of the ball, and that's what surprises me about Brett Guerra, because I thought he might have gone with Atkinson as Atkinson's moved into the middle of the ground. So, yeah, that move does bemuse me, that one there for Centrals.
Well, amused me too, but anyway, the ball's been thrown in, and it's again Lennon on the bottom of the pack. He's been tackled from behind, gets a hurried handball up to the player there in Woosman. He couldn't kick the ball either. Again, Central Districts players in there, forcing the ball over the boundary line, other side of the grandstand here at Adelaide Oval. 12 goals for the Double Blues. They lead the Doggies 6 goals 3 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard.
Throw in Big Lennon at the back, thumps it down. Double Blues are desperate as the handball comes out from Weatherall. He handballed it straight to a doggy though, as it comes now to Geister onto the left boot. He just blazed away and banged into the centre. Out comes Chris Gowan. He got shut from behind. The umpire said play on as the handball is affected. A chance now for Geddes. He can't do much with it. Chris Gowan gets it out to Scotty Lee. The ball is smothered again by the Double Blues. They are desperate today. In goes Powell. He emerges with the 40. The handball, an underground one, an opportunity there for the Double Blues. The ball spills out to Jones, I think it was. No, it was Whiteman. He kicks it up towards the centre wing position, but the Doggies are there. A chance now. Umpire goes to ground. The umpire's calling play on. They haven't played a free kick for half an hour as the ball is given back to Scotty Lee. Over the top it comes. Gowans is there. In they go hard. Once again the ball is handballed out to Healy, but taken by Powell. Powell bangs it back to half forward, pushing it back there to the Doggies as it's allowed. As the ball comes out now to Cameron, and he goes, in fact, Hopwood goes straight to the boundary line. And a throw in between centre wing and half forward for the Double Blues.
DB, it's not pretty, but it's hard and tough footy. It's what you like to see. It's what the crowd have come to see this afternoon. The Double Blues are on song, but at the moment, Centrals are withstanding the pressure.
Well, Muller up against Burton, but over the top was Lennon pushing the ball their way. Atkinson gets a quick tap over to Weatherall. Weatherall hooks the ball front and centre. Can anyone take a mark? No, they can't. The ball is there, punched away there by the centre defender in off the hide, and he's going to push the ball out of bounds. Is it going to roll out of bounds? No, it not. And the player there in Woosnam tries to keep it in with a quick soccer off the ground, but it actually ricochets out of bounds on the far side here. Sturt on fire.
I'd say there would have been a free kick to Woosnam up in the pocket if it had been anywhere but in the pocket.
Yeah, good call, DB. The umpire's thrown the ball in and up again. Lennon again over the top of the back. Gives it out to Twit. Twit using his pace. Gets around to direct opponent. The kick's on the way towards the goal. Can it make the difference? Distance? No, it can't. Stephen White there can't take the ball either, and it's punched through there for a minor score by Damien Hicks. That now takes the scores on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard to 12 goals, 5, 77. That's the Double Blues. They lead the Doggies 6 goals, 3, 39.
Yeah, Scotty Lee to bring the ball back into play. Gets the lead from James Gowan, who's back on the ground. I didn't see who came off. Might have been Hamlin, I think it was.
Yep.
Yes, it was Murray Hamlin that came off the ground. Scotty Lee asked to get on with the job, so he kicks the ball to himself and then bangs it back up towards the half-back flank on the grandstand side. McEwen at the back, dumps it forward for the Double Blues. A chance though for Slade. He overruns the footy. Corey Jones picks it up onto the left boot. White up against two of them, and in front it's Scotty Lee who takes the mark. And Double Blues should be capitalising on the fact that Central Districts are taking so much care of White down there, because when they pump the ball away there surely should be a doggy or a Double Blue down, I should say, as the ball is kicked now to the player in Joseph Hicks. He goes short looking for Muller, and Big Radley Muller takes the ball. A centre-half back dips it back to Joseph Hicks now, who runs just inside the square and kicks it up to centre-half forward. Over the back the ball spilled. Chance now for the doggy. The handball from Healy is a beauty, and here goes bang from Ford, I think, from about 40 metres out, and put it straight through the high middle. And to say the Doggies needed that one is an understatement. They go along to 7-3-45 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. The Double Blues 12-5, 77.
One thing, Corey, the Central Districts are doing out of defence. They are still sticking to their game plan and running the ball out of defence.
But this is the time at 26-minute mark of the second quarter here. This is where Sturt really have to tighten it up, and they probably run pretty hard this quarter, so they'll be tight. They can't let the Doggies pull too many away or get too many back, because that'll annul all the good work they've done.
This quarter will go for a fair length of time, though, because there's been a few goals scored.
Yeah, 11 for the quarter, Smithy. It's a very high-scoring game. We don't normally see that many goals kicked in SNFL footy, but a terrific display of footy this afternoon.
Well, McEwen up against Muller. This time the bounce play over is Muller. He takes it and he's tackled over the top, and we'll get a free kick. And it certainly will.
That is very poor umpiring.
We're about to come on too, so he's not injured. He's about to come back on the ground.
Now, that is very, very poor umpiring. He should have recalled that bounce.
Well, can he recall the bounce? I don't know if he can. Well, Muller's looking for someone to give it off to. He does that very easily. And the Central's players then kick the ball in long, looking for a leading player. And in front Is the umpire going to pay the mark? No, he's going to pay the free kick instead. And the player who's got the free kick is Matthew Slade. Evil Roy Slade.
I'll tell you what, that decision is going to cost the Double Blues a goal, that one in the centre there.
Well, we'll see if it does do that, DB. Slade, I think, is probably a little bit too far out to kick the goal. Comes in board looking for Gowans. Over the back was Patura. Did affect the score pretty well. Fred Gold's in there trying to bust his way through. He gets a hurried handball over there again to his teammate. But then again, it's the... the umpire has given a free kick there. Now, that is the one that is going to cost the Double Blues. Patura had no other option then, but he was tackled from behind, fell across the ball, didn't actually pull the ball in, and Coach Phil Carman has jumped out and wouldn't want to be that perspect there that he just belted. But absolutely a disgraceful decision there by the umpire. No other option but to hold the ball in.
But you could see it coming, couldn't you? It was over the top of the ball. Lillico has got the free kick, and as he comes in, lines up, and it could be 2 goals in the space of 2 minutes. It certainly is. And Lillico kicks his first of the afternoon. The Doggies have trickled along to 7 goals, 3.45, and they're trailing the Double Blues 12 goals, 5.77. And on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard, well, thanks to Michelle's patisserie, let's check scores when we're in the ground, just on half-time.
Hawthorn 10-7-67 lead Richmond 7-7-49, and Carlton 13-8-86 lead the Kangaroos 10-6-66. Those scores thanks to Michelle's patisserie at Tea Tree Plaza. Back to Adelaide.
Down goes the bounce. Can this be the start of a revival by the Doggies as the ball is taken by Lennon? He handballs to his teammate in Robinson. Robinson on the left boot, up towards the half foot, making a poor kick though. And in fact, that was Caven that kicked the ball, not Robinson. I'm getting them mixed up this afternoon as the ball is kicked out the centre wing, and the big Radley Moller out there. Then goes for the left foot, looking for Ford, and Ford takes the mark at centre wing. Ford now on centre wing on the outer side of the ground. The Doggies have lifted in the time on period of this quarter as he goes bang up towards half forward. Players will set themselves at the back. Should have been a mark to the Doggies. Offhand, the ball comes from Lillico to Healy. Healy go with a handball back. Away go the Doggies. The left foot snap. Is that Guerra that kicked the goal? I think it is. And Guerra, what was he doing on the bench? We'll never know. But he kicked the shot control as the Doggies go to 9-3-57. The Double Blues 12-5-77.
You picked it, DB. I asked the question, couldn't quite work it out. He must have been back on the ground for no more than 2 minutes, and he has just kicked the goal. The one I said the Blues really didn't want, that was the one where they had to tighten up. They had to really just tighten up the defence and stop Central's getting a couple of goals. They've edged their way right back into this game, 9 goals to 12, and they are just... All the good work Sturt did has just come a little bit undone in the last 5 minutes with Central's getting those couple of quick goals.
It's just that 5 minutes of footy, Smithy, that'll let the Double Blues down over the year. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and sometimes a quarter. Let's hope for the Double Blue supporters' sake they just tighten up the last couple of minutes.
Well, McEwen up against Muller. This time the bounce of McEwen didn't really come down anyway. Bello takes the ball there and has been tackled by Lennon, and Lennon's been very good for the Double Blues so far today, as has Weatherald. Atkinson also. Patura's had a bit of the ball. The Double Blues now, they just need to hang on for this last couple of minutes of this second quarter. Go in at half-time with a 3-goal break will be good. Over the top is Patura. He gets a quick tap down to McGowan. And next hurry, Patura's taking the ball there, but he doesn't actually get paid with a free kick. And the player there, Caven, gets a hurried kick off the ground. Again, doesn't come anywhere. Weatherald's in there. He just spins around, gets a quick handball out to a teammate, and the quick kick there. Again, finding the Sturt player in Corey Jones. He's been tackled, but the ball feels free, and McGowan takes the ball. He's got 3 or 4 players loose up here. Can anyone find it? Powers runs to the lead into the ball. He misses what he should have taken, and the player there from Centrals is Guerrera again, and a free kick for upfield for hanging on is going to go to Sam McArdle. And I didn't see what the free kick was there for, DB.
Well, I didn't either, but it doesn't matter.
Anybody?
I don't think there was too much in it. I can give you the tip, and you can tell from the sound of the Sturt supporters that they are not very happy at all either.
Well,
there wasn't much in that one at all.
And, it sounds like the siren has gone as well. And McArdle's going to come in and kick a go, have a shot at goal right on the siren, and he does that. So that's his second, and that takes the scores to 10 goals, 3.63. That's Central. They trail Sturt, 12 goals, 5.77. And a good finish there by the Central side. They did look like they might have been out of it at that stage, but a good comeback by Central's, very level-headed. They did stick to their game plan, Corey, and it certainly proved all right for them in the latter part of that quarter.
Yeah, and it's a 1.5 forward flank has given them a little bit. So it's good. I think they're getting to the right personnel.
Well, Jack, thanks very much for joining us. We better get back to the commentary. It's just about to start the second half. Appreciate your time.
My pleasure.
Right, umpire with the footy. Throws it up in the centre this time. Up they go. The ball is favoured by Conway. It's thumped up towards centre half forward, taken by Joseph Hicks. He bangs it back to centre or half forward flank for the Doggies. The players fall on top of the ball. Dewey Hughes there. The ball held under the players. No free kick this time. No, it's going to be a ball up.
Light rain falling too. It's going to make the conditions a little bit more slippery. It's going to be the team now that can handle these conditions best suited in this last half.
Right, the ball thumped away by Conway. It's a huge thump. Goes about 25, 30 metres up the centre wing. Lillico pounces on the ball. He handballs to Joseph Hicks, who in turn gives it to Geister. Geister up towards the half forward flank. Twit gathers the ball in. Uses his pace, tries to get a handball away. It comes to Danny Holm. Holm from about 35 metres goes bang, but he's away to the left. And through for the minor score. That would have been a very important kick if it had gone through. It could have sparked the Doggies into this third quarter, but they go along to 10-4-64. The Double Blues are 12-5-77.
Now third goal for the Double Blues. The captain will bring the ball back into play. Looking upfield, looking out on the outer side. He's going to the outer side, looking for the big fella there to take a mark, and he does just that in front, and that's the big fella in Conway. Good to see him back on the ground. Spent a bit of time in the second quarter on the bench. He's marked the ball outer side. The big drop punt up to the centre wing. Three Sturt players up on his own. There is the player from Central. Comes down to Lillico, was it, hooks it back around the play, and leading in the race for the ball is McArdle, but there's been a free kick given to the Double Blues for hanging on. Didn't see it myself. Did you see that at all there, Undies?
No, well, Geddes actually was held on slightly, but I would have thought play on was the call.
Well, Geddes brings the ball to the grandstand side now, looking for the big ruckman, and he does that and finds him with plenty of space. He turns inboard and goes up the centre half forward looking for Burton. Burton's made front position, but a good sprawl there by the Central's defender in Geister. Forces it towards the boundary line. McGowan was the first one there. He gets knocked over. The ball again picked up by the Sturt. Twit is in there. So is Bello. Bello's over the top of the ball. They played that holding the ball before, and it'll be interesting to see if they do it this time. Oh, no, they won't. Not there, but they did play it before up in the forward line.
The player that John Howard mentioned at half-time, Andrew Whiteman, he's back on the ground, and he's got the job on Ricky McGowan. He's trying to shadow Ricky McGowan. Be a good challenge to the young fella.
Well, Burton's up with Muller. Muller gets the ball, and Twit leads in the race. The ball, he's going to take it this time. Didn't shirt front. Great effort there by Twit. He gets a hurried handball over there to Whiteman, and Whiteman's tackled by two Central's players. Gang tackled there and couldn't get the ball. Good to see young Twit there running hard at the ball. Knew he was going to get hit. Stood up, got the ball, and then gave it off as a good handball.
Yeah, certainly did show a bit of courage then, did Twit, as the umpire throws the ball up once again. The two big men do battle. Moller gets the tap away to Healy. Healy to McGowan. McGowan onto the right boot. A wobbly punt kick up towards centre half forward. The first goal in this quarter is going to be vitally important to both sides, as here's a chance now for the Dogs, bursting his way through there. Guerra. The hurried kick is smothered off the boot, though, up in towards the pocket. McArdle's got it. He slides to the ground with the ball underneath him, and once again steps over the boundary line. Took the easy way out, and the umpire said, yeah, we'll throw it in.
They've done that a couple of times, haven't they? Stepped over the boundary line.
Well, it's an easy option if you ask me. And if you do that, it's deliberate. But that's another rule, I suppose, as the ball is thrown in. Dumped back to the pocket. A chance now for Patura on the left boot. Kicks it back up towards the half-back flank. And up in front, the mark taken there by Lennon. Lennon for the Double Blues at half-back, outer side. Drives it along centre wing. Play one-on-one there. Burton his opponent there in Geister. The ball spilled, kicked off the ground by the Double Blues squire. But look at that man, Scotty Lee, takes the mark across the half-back line. And that's where the Doggies started to get back into it, across their half-back line late in that second quarter.
Interesting to see that John Howard did say that Scotty Lee was the player that actually did get the Doggies back into the game, and then again he's starting the way in this third quarter the same way.
Certainly is, as the ball spills out to Patura. He gets the blind handball away, or almost put his teammate under the hammer there, but he got the kick away, and that player there was Weatherald. Up towards half forward, a big pack of players by. It comes to Stephen White. He handballs the ball to Twit. Twit with sheer pace, runs to the edge of the 50, goes bang with a drop punt. It's going to be going through. Beautifully seconded by Wiesman for a sausage roll to Twit, and a very important goal to start this first quarter for the Double Blues. They go on to 13-5-83, and the Doggies at 10-4-64.
Yeah, great work there by Twit. Just used his pace, got away, burst through the 50-metre line and let go. And great work by Woosnam in the goal square too. Just outbodied his player. Could have been touched on the line by a Central's player, but Woosnam just outpositioned his player, kept him away from the contest and allowed the ball to go through for a goal.
Well, back in the centre again, it's Conway up against Muller. Umpire is showing that he's going to throw the ball up because of the rain. First time it's gone straight up in the air. Well, Conway gets the ball down. It comes down to the Sturt player who gets a hurry kick. Twit in there again. So is the player there for the Double Blues in Squire. Couldn't take, comes down again. A hurry, quick kick out there. Twitter's been all right for the Double Blues today. Used his pace a couple of times. That time he falls over and the Central's players pick up the ball. A good tap there, backed by the Central District player in McGowan. Gets it over and jumping in the way quickly is Whiteman. Whiteman's hurried kick goes up for. Can anyone take a mark? Looming at the back is Burton. Burton's right what he should have taken. Bounced off his chest and leading in the race the ball there was the Sturt player in Atkinson. He couldn't take the ball. It's gone out. It's on the boundary line. 3 or 4 Central players. Scotty Lee was tackled the Sturt player very high, but the boundary umpire said it's signalled it's out of bounds, and the field umpire said if you allowed a tackle on high today, there's no free kick. Well, it makes you wonder, doesn't it, DB?
Well, it does. Too inconsistent.
Burton up against Muller. Burton makes front position, doesn't actually get it out, but the Central's players do, and the ball comes there to Geister. Geister hooks it around the body. Over there is a Double Blue player up against Bello. Bello gets the ball. Wisdom's in there as well. Can he get the ball? He pushes the ball out of bounds, and it's going to be a throw-in on the half-forward line out of side.
Yeah, pretty good effort there. Getting a bit scrappy there. The weather is starting to take its toll. The ground's wet. The rain has stopped. The good thing is that the clouds did come over, forced Andrew Underwood to put his shirt back on, so I'm very happy about that.
Boundary throw in Burton v Moller. The ball spills out. Chance here for Lilligo. He ran without the footy. The Double Blue player at the bottom of the pack.
Whiteman.
He's
done all right too, hasn't he, Whiteman?
He's taken to the ground. And there'll be a ball up just on the edge of the attacking 50 for the Double Blues, kicking to the southern end. The ball thrown up once again. Moller, another big punch as he punches it out. Taken by the Double Blues. A chance now for Weatherall. The hurry kick away. The handball comes out to Burton. He's grabbed though, goes the ball with the ground. The ball is held to him though. And once again another bounce down right on the attacking 50.
Corey, I know you're one of these journalists that when you see a player holding the ball to his chest and punching it vigorously, with no intention whatsoever of getting rid of the ball, what's the decision?
I think there are ways that the players can milk it, and they can milk it free from an umpire, or they can not make the umpire not make a decision, and that was exactly what Burton did there. He kept punching it, the umpire didn't make a call. Right,
the ball kicked out to the half-back flank, taken by Geister, and he in turn gave it to Hopwood, and Hopwood's kick is out of bounds back on that left half-forward flank on the outer side for the Double Blues. Right in front of the temporary stand out there. The boundary umpire about to throw it back into play. Conway v Moller. Conway takes front position. Moller gets rid of him with 2 hands. The ball spills loose to McGowan, the left footer around the body, up towards the centre wing position. At the back was Ford. It spills to Powell. Powell was, tried to go
high.
Met high, and this time the umpire picks up the high tackle and pays the free kick. So Powell now across half back for the Double Blues. They've kicked the only goal of the third quarter after leading by 14 points at half-time. The kick up high. Burton, that's a terrific mark. He was the last man in line in that pack and burst his way to the front, took the grab. Now he's a bit undecided now. He's still just inside the edge of the square. He's going to bomb it in long by the looks of things. A high drop punt. That'll bring rain. We've already had rain. Oh, White was held up. The player, and he's seen that free kick. Good umpiring on that occasion. White was definitely held out, and he was a long way from the footy, and White will take the free kick.
DB, you've got to give him a rap there. That was well picked out, wasn't it?
Yes, certainly was. And he definitely well before the ball was anywhere near the area.
Well, White's going to line up from 40 metres out directly in front. Options? Yes or no?
No, he'll kick it.
Yes, we'll back him to kick his fifth.
Yeah, he'll kick this.
He'll kick this for sure. He's been in good form today, White. It's great to see.
Never say that.
45 metres out directly in front. The breeze is dead. Probably only about 35 metres out. The drop punt's on its way. The umpire says, rightio, that'll leave me. That's his fifth. Sturt 14. They go to 14 goals, 588. They're starting to stick away from the Central side. 10 goals, 464. And we've played almost 9 minutes into this third quarter.
Certainly a contender for the best player on the ground. He's well and truly up in the voting, Smithy.
Certainly is.
And kicking 5 for the afternoon. It's a terrific effort from the young fella. Let's hope that he can continue on. Whilst a number of Central's players were remonstrating the umpire, I never seen an umpire change his mind, DB.
No, and the fellow Sturt forward should be able to capitalise on the defence of the doggy, because all they're worried about at the moment is Stephen White. Up towards half forward, Geister made front position. The ball came down the ground, spilled out to James Gowans. He gave it over to Hopwood. Hopwood at half back on the outer side, drives it along centre wing. Out comes Peter Cave and read that beautifully. Came all the way from centre half back, slid to his knees and took the mark on his chest. So Peter Caven now.
Haven't caught him much, have we?
No, we haven't, but I have mixed him up with Robinson a couple of times, so we must excuse that as the ball is kicked to centre wing, and the mark taken by Maloney. Maloney now on the left boot, further along that centre wing. Up they fly in front, Burton, thumped away by Geist to the boundary line for a throw in left half forward flank.
And the doggies have made a change. They've taken Muller off and brought the other ruckman on in Arnold, and he's running right over the other side of the ground to get to this competition, and when he gets there he'll be absolutely blowy. Puff.
Piccolo fluted, I think was the word you're looking for, or two words, as the ball is thrown in. It's on the bottom of the pack. Players are trying to go in and grab the footy. They can't. There's any number of players around. Kicked off the ground. Two doggy players there. It's beautifully gathered in there by McGowan. He threw the ball away. It came out to Burton. Burton hurried, kicked a shocking wobbly punt kick up towards full forward. Attack for the double ball. Wilson, is he going to be first there? No. The ball thumped towards the boundary line by Healy. Healy thought he wanted the boundary line. He found it, and out of bounds, right half forward flank for the double blues.
Good effort there by Healy. Undies, he had two players to beat, and he just knew the boundary line was his friend and pushed it out.
Boundary line is your friend as you're a back when he made no option but to go out of bounds.
Well, White was pushed out underneath the ball. Ball comes down towards Hicks. Holm tackles the ball and sockers it off the ground, and it's good play there. Comes back to McGowan through the centre, streaming down. Can Centrals take a mark up forward? Powell's from behind. Good sprawl by Powell, and that leaves the Sturt players to run under the ball. And that player there for Sturt is Seamus Maloney. He gets a quick kick out, but it goes straight to the doggies. The doggies come back in, and they find Stewie Jew all on his own. Stewie Jew will line up from around about 35 metres out. Peter Caven standing the mark. Unfortunately, all the Sturt players did run forward there. The turnover was costly. Stewie Jew will kick from 35 metres.
Brent Guerra that forced that turnover too. Little things I've noticed with him and Jew, you can tell that they are of AFL standard. Guerra forced that tackle on Maloney, forced the turnover. Jew now has the shot for goal from 30 metres out. He's kicked it two, he snuck that in. That's home for the doggies. That's his third. Lovely goal there, but again, those key players, Guerra and Jew, just showed the class and showed they are just a cut above. And as we've said earlier, he will get his chance. Both those boys will get their chance, I think, in the Port Power side in the not too distant future. The Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard, Sturt 14-5-89. Lead Centrals 11-4-70 rather. 11-4-70 Centrals.
Stewie Jew with his third goal. Back to the centre now. We've got Arnold up against the big fella from the Double Blues in Mark Conway, former Bulldog himself. Would dearly love to win this game against his former side. He goes up, but the ball comes straight back down. Whiteman again gets a punch. It comes down to Holm. Holm punches it out forward. Weatherall was there, but McGowan, good skills by McGowan, picks it up with one hand, and a beautiful kick up forward to the good leading player there in McArdle. Very, very quick skills and good skills there by the Central District side.
I tell you what, that was unbelievable. He's picked that ball up like it was a dry pill, and he's taken 3 steps, and on the left, he's hit McArdle lace out. What an absolutely brilliant piece of play. And McArdle lining up now for his second goal kick, one of the second quarter, and he does give them an option at full forward, and it's just McArdle, not very tall, but as he comes in now, Chrissy Threadgold doing a lot on the mark, but to no avail. He's put it straight through the high diddle. His second goal, Central's 12th, and on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard, they move along to 12 goals 4-76, trailing Sturt 14 goals 5-89. And thanks to Michelle's patisserie, let's check scores from around this wonderful country of ours.
Eagles 9-8-62 lead Port 7-7-49, South 7-9-51 lead North 3-11-29, and West 9-6-60 lead Norwood 7-7-49. Those scores thanks to Michelle's patisserie at Mitcham. Back to Adelaide.
Well, back at Adelaide, it's Conway up against Arnold, and slick skills there by McGowan result in that goal again. It comes down to Lennon. Lennon is tackled by 3 or 4 Central players. Comes back to Conway with a hurried kick up forward. Burnt in front, dropped again. And so did the player there in Jones. He didn't take it, but gee, they're starting to get willing now. The umpire, they're all looking around for the umpire to give a free kick, but he won't do that. He'll bounce it this time or throw it up. And Central District's making a bit of a charge.
Actually, it was Chris Gowans that picked up that ball in the centre and put it on the left boot up to centre half forward. We did say McGowan, but it was actually Chris Gowans, so we'll get it right.
It was the way I rolled my McGiz.
It's only a matter of time as the ball is taken by Holm out of the centre. A hurry kick around the body up towards the half forward flank. Getting on the footy now is the big bloke there in forward. A high ball up towards the pocket. Where is there? He couldn't take the mark, and it's forced over the boundary line for a throw-in. So the Doggies making a charge in this the second quarter. After the Double Blues had kicked the first 2, they've replied with 2 more. So it's 14-5-89 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. The Doggies 12-4-76.
Throw in right in front of the beautiful scoreboard here at Adelaide Oval. which says the time is 4 o'clock. And up he comes in. There's 3 or 4 players around the fall of the ball. Can anyone get a quick kick out here? Comes out to Guerrero again. It's great smother there. And Guerrero's certainly been damaging up forward.
He has. He really has presented himself well. Just when he's got in and around and under the ball, he's done some very, very smart things.
Well, that was a very timely smother there by Whiteman, I think it was. Because I'm sure that ball was on its way between the tall uprights, and Whiteman was able to get between he and the uprights and affect the smother. The ball comes out to Maloney. He in turn out towards Pachura. Pachura can't get it in as a plentiful district player there with grabbed high, and he'll get a free kick right on that right full forward pocket. Not sure who it was.
I think it's Guerra again.
Guerra. Brent Guerra right in that pocket. He'll be looking to pass off here because he's walking further and further around the boundary line, which he can do, of course.
Oh, there we go.
Well, Powell's using his experience too on the mark, isn't he? He's forcing him around. He's not letting him come inside. He doesn't look overly confident, but he does line up now. And it does look like he's going to have a shot. And as the ball sails towards the goals, whilst he didn't look confident on the mark, he's certainly confident as it went through the goals, and he's got all of his teammates streaming around the 17-year-old. He's kicked 2 this afternoon, been playing in the back pocket most of the year and playing extremely well. And on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard, 13-4, 82 travel along Central Districts, trailing the Double Blues 14-5, 89, just a 7-point ball game. And let's check scores quickly around the grounds, thanks to Michelle's patisserie.
We've got Carlton 17-8, 110, leading the Kangaroos 14-7, 91, and Richmond 11-14, 80, lead Hawthorn 10-11, 71. Those scores thanks to Michelle's patisserie at Tea Tree Plaza. Back to Adelaide.
Well, the ball's come back and it's been bounced, and Holm has effected a good tackle there on Brodie Atkinson. Not Brodie Atkinson, the player who's just come on is Michael Curtis. Central District's making a charge. They're only 7 points behind now. Conway in. Gets the ball down to Curtis. Curtis again tackled by 3 or 4. Lennon jumps on top of him as well. And the umpire has no other option but to throw the ball up. Conway against Arnold. Conway makes front position, but Arnold over the top gets it down to his teammate there. The ball's coming forward. No one real effective there taking. Caven does pick the ball up though and does take it. McGowan's in there, not McGowan, it's Lennon gets a hurry kick up towards the centre, and a push in the back there by the Central District's player, but the umpire standing there says, very well done. He says that's okay, you're allowed to do that today. Gowans takes it on. Good shepherd there by Ford, allows his teammate to run through it but couldn't pick it up. Again, a hurry kick out, and the player there leading in front of the ball is Scotty Lee. Socket off the ground by the Central District's defender there in Joseph Hicks.
Right, the ball out the centre wing. Scotty Lee there, but in comes the player there in Whiteman, I think it was. He got the handball over. The ball towards the boundary line. No, James Gowans is there, and it's out of bounds centre wing on the outer side.
Yes,
Scotty Lee again marshalling the troops around there for Central Districts, just tightening things up and keeping the ship in order.
Boundary throw-in right in the true centre wing position on the outer side of the ground, just 7 points in it. Half of the Doggies led by some 37 points halfway through the second quarter. The ball out towards the centre wing. It's thrown back to Pachura. Pachura's hurried left footer up towards the half-forward flank. The players thumped the ball forward. It's all the Doggies though. McGowan picked it up, gave it over to Healy in the centre. Healy's a beautiful kicker of the football. Goes bang with a long drop punt up towards full forward punt. Out in front, the mark taken by Andrew Geddes for the Double Blues. He was a long way in front then than Scotty Lee. Geddes gets the lead from Twit, and Twit will take the mark at half back on the grandstand side. So Twit now certainly played a good game this afternoon. He goes up towards the centre wing position. Healy was there. Could have almost been paid the mark, but the ball still loose and out of bounds right in front of the 5RPH commentary position.
Yes, as the umpire, he's going to bring the ball in. He gives it a bit of a clean and a polish, and it comes in now, and the big fellows take charge. But over the back, it is Corey Jones who's knocked it forward. Timmy Weatherall sneaks in and tries to pick up. He brushes one, brushes another, frees into Curtis, who ducks his chutney, and I think the umpire will have no alternative but to ball it up. Timmy Weatherall, Smithy, tried to take a couple of 3 on.
He does that, doesn't he? Free kick to Stewie Dew. That should have been a free kick.
Yeah, Weatherall collect Dew high as he was trying to evade the tackle there. Should have been a free kick to Dew.
Conway and Arnold now in the ruck. They're pushing and pulling, and the ball does go free. Oh, you would have thought that's high, umpire, but again, he comes in and says, "Up, boys, give it back to me. I want to have hold of the footy again." Brucey Lennon picks himself up off the ground, as does Rick McGowan. No one's worse for wear. As Juicer Burton, he has a go at the ruck now. He thought he'll have a bit of a go. Nothing to avail. Jared Twitty decides to push someone in the back, wanted to mount him, but he wouldn't believe it. Big Damien Arnold comes free with the ball. And Squire, or Corey Jones it was in fact, gives the ball to Twit, uses his pace, gets free just, and again, it's becoming a bit of a scrappy affair, and the umpire, for the third time in the space of 2 minutes, is going to ball it up.
Yeah, it hasn't gone any real distance. The true centre-half forward at the southern end here. Sturt leading by 7 points at this stage. The umpire's got the ball. It's Burton up against the big fella there in Arnold. Burton forces his way to the front part. It comes down to Arnold. Arnold gets it over to Bello. Bello gets it over again. Just a little quick pushy. Lennon through the middle of the field. Does turn, swing around, and all over the top. He finally gets a free kick, and good effort there by Bruce Lennon. He is a good kicker of the football, and he will kick from roughly around about 52, 53 metres.
I think the umpire's looking for something there, just trying to find a free kick because the ball was very congested. Bruce Lennon made the play, and the umpire saw a hand over the shoulder. So Brucey Lennon kicking from just outside 50, almost directly in front. Let's Fly now with the right boot. Nice looking kick, but I think he's pushed it across the front. Hasn't quite made the distance. Punched through off hands from a central defender, and that's through for a minor score. Sturt move on to 14-6, 90. Central District's 13-4, 82 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard.
They seem to do that, umpires, don't they? They get a bit of a build-up, 3 or 4 ball-ups, and then they seem to pull one from somewhere just to give a free kick.
Well, Centrals have brought the ball in through Joseph Hicks. Comes to Gowans. Gowans onto McGowan. McGowan over there to the other player from Centrals is Lillico. Lillico goes up from about 45 metres out and just nudges it to the left, and that goes through for a minor score. And it impresses me, DB, the way that Centrals do carry the ball out from the kick-ins.
Yeah, they used it beautifully then, and probably deserved a better fate than the minor score as the ball is kicked in out here towards the half-back flank at the back there. The player there in white, when he tried to pick it up, Howman, in fact, it was the high kick now by Squire towards the centre wing. Player set themselves, and the ball off hand. In fact, it's touched, according to the boundary umpire, so it wasn't out on the full, as Ford was claiming a free kick. Boundary umpire now to throw the ball back into play. Once again, the big men do battle. Conway tried to get a left-handed tap. Len was there. The ball flung out towards the centre-half forward position, kicked off the ground. Oh,
good courage, lad.
That is courage.
Good
He
courage, kid.
He's got to get the free kick. Young Michael Curtis, he knew what was coming, but it didn't stop him. He kept his eyes on the footy. That's a great mark.
That was as tough as Stuart Dew coming the wrong way. Did not deviate, did not take his eyes off the ball, young Curtis. That was very, very gutsy stuff.
Right, he kicks it to Lennon at centre. Oh, Lennon! That's got to be an FA down the ground. There's no need for that. Lennon got rid of the ball, and he was met very, very heavily by Ford. And the free kick has been paid to Woosnam up in the pocket.
Well, he milked that for all he could get. There wasn't a lot in it. The umpire, or the crowd, certainly made a meal of it. And resultantly, he's kicked it down the ground. Woosnam, he's got a ball outside 50. He won't make the distance. He's going to go to the top of the square. Who's there? Big Whitey's there. Man, he just stood back, and Maloney, in fact, has taken a mark. And
did that quite well there, Conway. Conway just set up in front, stood his ground, kept the Central defenders off him, and Maloney, as you called it, floated across the front and took the mark. Well done by the big ruckman.
Well, Maloney coming in to have his second shot at the goal for the day. The drop punt's on its way. Does it go through? No, it is his second goal. Well done. That's just enough. Back kicking 2 goals. You do that most games, you're going to win. Seamus Maloney kicking his second. That takes the Sturt score now to 15 goals, 6. They go to 96. They lead the Central side to 13 goals, 583 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard.
And final score, Richmond 11-14-80 have defeated Hawthorn 11-11-77. Still playing Carlton 28-128, leading the Kangaroos 15-7-97. In local football, the Eagles 11-9-75 lead Port 7-7-49. South 8-9-57 lead North Adelaide 5-13-43. And West Adelaide 10-6-66 lead Norwood 9-9-63. Those scores thanks to Michelle's Patisserie at Arndale. Back to Adelaide.
Came out of the centre square very, very quickly, and Damien Squire ran to almost half forward and had a shot at the goal, but did kick a minor score. So now Sturt 15 goals, 7-97. They lead the Doggies 13-5-83.
24.5 minute mark. Scotty Lee it was too that got back. He just got a finger on the ball there, and he's about to bring the ball back into play for the Bulldogs. The umpire's calling him on now. He kicks it to himself and plays on to the outer side. Has one bounce. He's getting chased down by Big White, but he gets his kick away now. Up to half forward. Burton working in front. Off hands it comes to Central zone in their favour. Can they get it? They do. It goes to Chris Gowans. He's away now on the centre wing. Looks at his options up forward. drives it in there. Nothing doing is hit the ground. The players are fighting for it now. I think it's Slade on the outer side. He battles for it and taps it over the line. There will be a boundary throw in the Central District's forward pocket just in front of the scoreboard.
DB, it does impress me the way the Central side do run the ball out of defence. 3 or 4 times we've seen today they've had kick-ins. They've got straight down to their half-forward line without the double blues touching the ball.
Yeah, they've always had 2 or 3 players running with the footy, so that's been a very important part of their team. As the ball is thrown in the pocket now, here's a chance now for Ford. He gets it back to Chris Gowan. The handball's gone straight up, ends up with Patera. Patera didn't look, he just blazed away. There were 2 Centrals to 1 double blue, and consequently the player with the footy is Hopwood, who gives it to Rick McGowan, I should say, and McGowan will line up. He almost thought about tipping it over. He does that now. The ball is touched off the boot. The umpire says play on. It'll be kicked off the ground though by the player there in Maloney towards the boundary line. Players are going in hard. The doggies have got it off. Where has been led? He gets the handball back. The umpire will pay the free kick though rather than the advantage, and so Brent Guerra will come back and have a shot just outside the 50, right on the boundary line. Wouldn't think he'd kick this one. Be a huge kick if he does. No, he goes short, looking there for a teammate. The ball over the back. Good mark there, taken by Conway, the former doggy. Now kicks across the face of the ground. That could be dangerous. Patera went up with one hand and claimed the mark. The umpire said no as he told the ball to him. This could be holding the footy. No, it'll be a bounce down, but gee whiz, just for a fleeting moment. I thought the umpire were going to play holding the football.
I think so did every Sturt supporter here, Corey.
Yes, it was a bit of a... Well, I thought Patera might have even had a good grasp on that. As the umpire, he has found something there for you, DB. A bit of lip. I think it might have been a bit of lip.
Yeah, the umpire not happy with something the doggy said to them. They probably barked at him as the ball is out there towards half-back. Oh, there's a free kick to the double blues. Meant very high, and the player out there is Damien Squire.
A bit of feeling.
Yes, a bit of feeling certainly coming into this game now. Squire at half-back on the outer side. He'll chip it in short, looking there for Curtis. Curtis now still across half-back, but didn't gain much by that kick across the ground. As Curtis goes short there, and he's got the player there. Oh, that dropped the sitter. I think that was Howman. The ball's underneath. This will be a ball. No risk in the world. You can see the umpire saying, I haven't played this particular umpire. I haven't played a holding the ball all day, and it's about time I did.
Yeah, costly error there. Should have marked it, but the free kick's gone to Ford. Ford's got McArdle leading, but also another player leading there, and that's Guerrero again. He's been excellent up forward. Don't know why he spent a bit of second quarter on the bench, but Corey, he has actually kicked 2 goals already, lining up now for his 3rd.
Yeah, presented himself well there. Not an overly tall fella, but just presented himself well, led into the space. He's taken the mark, and he's fancying his chances too, because he just marched back. He's back to the goals, and he's thinking, I can kick this one. So
he's come a long way back, hasn't he?
Well, you would fancy your chances when the goal he kicked about 5 minutes ago in the other pocket.
It was a pretty good goal, but he just kicked him probably from right on the 50 logo there. Left foot, lets it rip, and he has struck it very, very sweetly. And he's hit the top of the post. You wouldn't believe it. He's hit right up near the top of the post, but gee, he struck that very, very well. And it was travelling through. It's hit about a metre down from the top of the post, and he's kicked it from right on 50, so it was a fair roost.
Well, 3rd goal's looking for Lennon, and he brings the ball in. Lennon, well, it could be a costly play here. Lennon didn't take the mark. Guerrero's been tackled again. He's got a little quick kick over to McArdle, but sliding in and forcing the ball out of bounds was good defensive play there by the Sturt defender in Powell. Well, that could have been costly there by Thread Gold. A bad kick into Lennon. It's back in the forward area. The throw-in comes in. Conway up. Over the back there is Patera punching the ball towards Lennon. Lennon's running towards the ball in the boundary line, but sees the ball go over. And the umpire said, yeah, that's all right, Guerrero. You can push Lennon in the back. And a subsequent throw-in right in front of the good, better boss sign here at the Adelaide Oval. Boundary umpire throws the ball in. And it's Conway up. Over the back again was the Sturt player, and that player there was Howman. Good play there by the double blues to get the ball at the back. Kicks it out to the other side, the outer ground, and there's a true race on. Patera is running second to the ball. Socket off the ground by the Central's player there in Hicks, is it? And he pushes the ball out of bounds too. So on the 50-metre arc, outside ground, the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard reads Sturt 15-7-97. They lead the Doggies 13-6-84.
Boundary throw-in right in front of the remaining light pylon that's out here at the Adelaide Oval. The ball came to, it looked like Big Geister. What's he doing down there? The ball is now picked up by the double blues, and the player bursting through may have been Weatherall as he kicks it out there to half-back. Maloney leads in the race for the ball. Goes to it beautifully, and we pick it up as the siren goes to end the third quarter. Terrific quarter of football, and this is a great game of footy here at the Adelaide Oval. The Double Blues lead at 15-7-97 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. The Doggies 13-6-84.
Goal scorers so far for the game, Sturt, you've got Stephen White with 5. He kicked 1 in that quarter. And then you've got Corey Jones with 2. And then singles to Atkinson, Woosnam, Curtis, Jared Swift, Brucey Lennon. Seamus Maloney has also got 2. And
About to get underway with the third quarter, and Dennis Brown will take it away with us.
Yes, thank you, Andy. Umpire throws the ball up in the air for this, what should be a riveting last quarter here at the Adelaide Oval, coming to you on 5RPH 1197 on your AM dial. The ball up to half forward. The ball handballed by Healy. It goes astray though. In goes Slade. He can't do much with the footy. The ball at the bottom of the pack. The umpire's thinking about holding the ball, but there were about 14 players there, so he couldn't ping them all. He's going to bounce it.
Now, don't forget, this is the last quarter where Corey and Undies will start to select the best player on the ground for the Good Better Boss Trade Link Player of the Day.
Throw in, or throw up I should say, taken by the player there in Robinson for the Double Blues out towards the centre wing position. Oh, did it well there, the Double Blues player in Squire. He got the handball to Weatherall in the centre. Weatherall breaks away and then goes with a wobbly old punching up towards half forward. The player in the pocket, I'm not too sure who that is.
Curtis.
It's Curtis that's marked the footy. He could probably dub this. He's having a shot anyway, right in towards full forward. In fact, it's going to go through. I think it has gone through. What a great fucking goal of Michael Curtis. That's his second goal. And what a way to start the last quarter for the Double Blues. 17 goals, 7. That's 103. They lead the Doggies 13-6-84.
And courtesy of Michelle's position, we will go back to the studio and get 3 quarter time scores from all the other grounds.
The Eagles 13-12-90 lead Port 7-8-50, South 10-10-70 lead North 6-13-49, and West Adelaide 11-8-74 lead Norwood 9-9-63. Those scores thanks to Michelle's patisserie at Hollywood Plaza. Back to Adelaide.
Well, back here at Adelaide Oval, it's Sturt kicking the first goal of this last quarter, and it's the big fella Conway up. He gets the ball straight down to Holm, though. Hurried kick up to half forward, and can anybody take the mark there? No, they can't. McGowan's the first to recover. He turns around, he gets tackled there. Is he going to be holding the ball? Good tackle by Weatherall. Not paid though. 3 or 4 players then jump on the ball, and it's going to be a throw up.
Well, you wouldn't anybody want to tip a footy game, DB, would you? It's all over the shop. And here we've got a terrific game.
The footy game, I think DB's concentration was somewhere else there.
Yes, it was.
Always a pot of gold at the end of a rainbow, and there's the rainbow. All they're going to do is find the pot of gold as it comes out to Holm. Holm around the body. Oh, great mark by Howman for the Double Blues. He stretched up and in the fingertips took the mark as he brings it to centre wing. That's a good position. He's found Lennon. Lennon's going to hurry up because just as he kicks it, he was dragged. The ball up towards half forward. The ball comes to ground. In goes Curtis again. Tapped on though by Scotty Lee, and he'll get a free kick.
Should have been play
in
on.
the back, according to the umpire. But I've seen plenty of those today that have been let go. And Scotty Lee now chips it to big Arnold. Arnold now at centre wing drives a drop punt along centre wing, almost to half forward, all up high. That's a mark almost of the Double Blues is Conway. He goes to ground. The ball spills out the back. Geddes is there. Also kicked it. Oh, Adam here as he tried to kick it off the ground. In goes Ford. He can't do much with it. Finally Lennon picks it up and bangs it back to half forward. It's going to be marked back there. No, the ball spills to loose. The ball comes out to Burton. Burton's got the ball under him, trying to tap it between his legs. Scotty Lee handball it, but it'll end up there with the player in Jones. Jones breaks away, but he kicks a shocker into the pocket. It's going. There's one-on-one there. Woosnam v Geister. Geister in front. Allows the ball to go over the boundary line for a throw in. Right full forward pocket for the Double Blues. And a sausage roll here would make it interesting.
Well, 19 points they lead by the Double Blues. They've kicked the first and the only score so far of this last quarter. Umpire's thrown the ball back in. It's Arnold up against the big fella in Conway. Conway gets it quickly down to his teammate there, and I think that player was Jones again, was it? He slung as he's been kicked off, and it's gone out of bounds, and the umpire's going to throw the ball in.
I'd be a bit disappointed if I flung, if I kicked off to.
As he kicked it off, I said. Well, Conway up against the big fella in Arnold. Again, it comes down to the ground. The first player there, always been tackled high, was Atkinson. He gets the ball over to the player there for Sturt in Curtis. And it's all Sturt out there, but just couldn't take it. And again, the ball goes out of bounds on the far side.
Atkinson very unlucky there. He was grabbed high. The umpire was actually running away with his back to the play.
Yes, and the only problem, though, DB, is Atkinson's about 3'4".
Well, the rain is certainly coming down too. And also the wind starting to pick up too, favouring the end that the Double Blues are kicking to.
And the ball thrown in. Juicer Burton tries to get across the top to tap it on, but to no avail. You could throw a blanket over the players. There's about 30 of them in there. A quick kicks out from Weatherall, Atkinson rather. kick towards the forward. White battles forward. It's play almost gets his head taken off. Umpire didn't see it. I don't know what's going on over there. But as the rain does lightly fall, it's making for quite a tough contest here at the Adelaide Oval.
I think that's Burton, Lennon appealing to the umpire. Thought he had his head ripped off. The ball will be thrown in again just in front of the scoreboard. The big guys go at it, trying to work something out of this, trying to set a system up. Brody Atkinson is it comes through on the left boot. Snap. Oh, the Yoke don't have another goal on the board. That's Brody's second. Lovely piece of footy. That just ripped it off hand, drummed across the front, whacked it on the boot, and came up with a designed result. Just what he's meant to do here. A little rover just nipping in front and getting the job done.
Well, Corey called it very well, didn't he, Smithy? Because Brody was front and square, and all they did was just put it down to the check side, and Brody was there, and he just brushed away our Central's opponent to get around that left foot and around the corner. A very important goal, 25-point lead.
Certainly has done a very good lead to the Double Blues. Now Conway up against Arnold again. Arnold gets the tap down. McGowan takes the ball, doesn't get it anywhere. Weatherall just hurried kick up to centre forward. Burton pushes his man underneath the ball. That allows the Central's player there, Ian Hicks, to pick it up and come grandstand side. It's one-on-one Patura against his opponent, and Patura actually leads the race to the ball. Doesn't actually pick it up though. The ball's rolling towards the boundary line, and the Central's player there, Ian Gowan, sees the ball go over, and good play there by both players to force the ball on the boundary front. Grandstand side here, and it's Sturt, 17 goals 7. They lead the Doggies 13 goals 6.
Boundary throw-in, still raining here. The ball tapped down by Arnold, but it comes to the player there in Squire. He kicks it along the ground. The ball is picked up though, handball to McGowan. Oh, he's handball to his teammate who got hotly tackled, but it ends up now with Scotty Lee. He drives the screw punt into the centre of the ground. It's going to be marked by Caven. Hits his catch and bounces out. He dropped the centre. The ball's back in the centre underneath a pack of players. And
Gee, I think you're a bit cruel on him saying you dropped the centre. He's running back with the flight of the ball.
Well, once it hits your chest, mate, you should hang on to it.
Well, all right, you're a bit hard man there, DB.
Well, there's the throw up. The ball thumped out, and once again the Double Blues first there, but they overrun the footy. It's very slippery, like a cake of soap at the moment. Ford it was, tried to get the kick away, and once again into a pack of players for a ball up in the centre, right underneath the rainbow that's developed here at the Adelaide Oval.
Undies is itching to get over there and to see what's at the bottom of that rainbow. It's just landing just next to the Victor Richardson gate.
Need $1 or two.
It's a great sight.
I think she walked up the stairs a few moments ago. Forward. Players are going in after the football. They can't do much with it. It really is slippery out there. Very, very scraggly play at the moment, and we'll have another ball up. See if we can get it out of there, boys.
It's the 7-minute mark of this last term, and I'll tell you what, the way these players are fighting, one team could run out of strength in a moment. It's very, very tight, very physical, and you just have to. It's a team that can hang on and fight the hardest for the last part of this quarter that will win the game.
And the ball is tossed up and kicked free towards the outer wing, and we're going to get another boundary throw in. And we've had a number of plays where the umpire is lining up. Let's hope the umpire doesn't pull one out of his kind of pass, which may have an impact on his game. 25 points to the Double Blues. It is very slippery, as DB said. The ball comes in over the back of the pack. The ball's kicked along the ground, kicked forward by Squire towards centre forward. Big Whitey there, won't be able to take a mark. It spills over the back of the pack. Wisdom gets knocked from the back. Give him a free kick. Whitey mops it up. And Jones across the top. He couldn't have kicked that, could he? He has kicked an absolute belter. He's kicked his third for the afternoon, and his second goal is unbelievable. That's equally as brilliant. And the Double Blues, 31-point leaders, and one would suggest that 8 minutes gone in the last quarter, you would hope they don't get overrun, Smithy.
Well, it looks like that Jack Halbert thinks they're going to win because he's actually packed his bags and going home, so the former coach.
Going home to see his lovely wife, Chris, and I don't blame him.
No, well, the Double Blues have certainly made the charge here. 18 goals, 7, 115. They lead the Doggies 13 goals, 684. And you can just about hear that lady starting to loosen up the larynx as Conway goes up against Arnold. Comes down quickly, then it's socked off the ground by McGowan. Doesn't go too far. Arnold tries to soccer the ball off again. It doesn't go too far. McGowan is the only one who picks it up. He gives it in the front of Guerrero. Guerrero's pushing the ball towards the boundary line. Like the way this boy's played too, for a 17-year-old, he showed a lot of maturity. Again, sockers the ball off the ground and it goes out of bounds. Far side, half forward flank here at Adelaide Oval, and the Double Blues are certainly making a charge.
The good thing about where Smithy is, mostly he's played in the back pocket or across half back. Today he's...
That's where we've seen him though. That's the only place we've seen him.
Yeah, but this year he's played across half back and in the back pocket. He's gone up forward today and done particularly well, kicking a couple of goals.
Well, it certainly has. The ball's to put forward to Caven. Caven turns and dodges and weaves. He gets tackled as he kicks the ball. Comes to the Central's player. He has a quick snap, a shot at goal, and luck's a fortune. Fred Gold has been pay a free kick well. I can't believe that. He's actually paid it against Fred Gold, who is right on the line remonstrating. Sam McCullough has got the ball, has gone back and kicked his third. But gee whiz, I couldn't see what it was for. The umpires indicated, Corey, that it was for over the shoulder, but it is beyond me.
Yeah, I'd like to see a breakdown of where the free kicks have been paid today, because unfortunately it can hurt the game when you pay one like that in the goal square. And yeah, the result is just a gimme goal like that. It's quite unbelievable, and it does have an effect on the game. You can hear the fans; they're not very happy, and I don't think DB's smiling either.
Well, we mentioned about they don't pay a free kick a few minutes and they pull one straight out of the backside orifice.
Yeah, well, that's exactly the 15-6-96 on the Turrendines Hotel scoreboard.
We've just gone 21 and a half minutes, DB. Again, it was Burton, wasn't it? He just put a Shepherd on to give his teammate just a little bit of breathing space, but just couldn't get it across. It was a tough shot at goal. And it looks like Scotty Lee will bring it back in, Smithy.
Yep, Scotty Lee's going to bring it back in, and what he has to do in this sort of situation, he does. He goes straight up the middle of the ground. Lennon was in front spot, couldn't take it though. The ball does spill forward to the Centrals players. Bellay's in there as well. Good tackle by the Double Blues players there, and 3 or 4 players gang tackle there, and that's holding the ball up. 22 minutes into this last quarter. If you're a Sturt supporter, you can start cheering because you've got this game won. The Centrals players, it's a long way back home down to Elizabeth. Umpire throws the ball up. It's going to be there, the player for the Dogs in front, and that was Muller. He gets a quick handball out, and good chase there by Julian Burton. He spent a game in the twos a couple of weeks ago, but back in the side now playing pretty good football too. 3 or 4 players on the ball. Again, Pachura comes up, picks the ball up. Big screw punt. He hasn't seen a screw punt for years in SANFL football. He does. Over the back there is Lennon. He picks it up, gives it over to Atkinson. Atkinson turns around, gives it back to Burton. Burton's running around. He gets tackled again. Back to Atkinson. Atkinson with a short kick. Can he find who he does? This is Weatherall. Weatherall turns around. Again, the disposal by Weatherall does let him down. And that's one weakness in Weatherall's game. He does get the ball a lot, Corey, but the disposal does turn it over too often.
Yeah, that is a bit of a shame. But, I mean, you just got to get the ball first. That's the main worry, and he does get a lot of it, so I think you can work on that.
Oh, yeah, but if you're getting the ball a lot and you're turning the ball over and you're giving it to the opposition, it can be very costly.
Fair point.
He did give it to the opposition that time. He kicked it behind as the ball spills out. A chance now for the Dogs as they come through. Healy up towards the half-forward flank. No one can take it decisive football. It's squeezed out back into the centre. No one that can get it. The ball is in the centre of the ground. Here's a chance. Those are currently picked up and kicked there by Hamlin, but the kick comes straight down the throat of Corey Jones. He certainly hasn't been the Double Blues' worst player. In a very cool head, he's gone straight to the boundary line. That's probably good play under the circumstances as 23 minutes and 42 seconds tick over on the time clock. The Double Blues are leading 18-11, 119 to the Doggies, 15-6, 96. But it's been a fantastic game of football, and you've got to give credit to both sides. They have not laid down at any stage here this afternoon.
No, certainly not.
The throw in, up they go. Once again, the ball thumped towards the boundary line by Geister, and it'll be another boundary throw in. So the runner just having a chat there to Michael Curtis.
We'll be getting the Trade League Player of the Day votes shortly from Corey Wingard and Andrew Underwood, and also the Cattle Crash Mark of the Day.
Ball is thrown in once again at the foot of the players. Chance for Dew. He goes without the footy. Scotty Lee's there. He gets the handball back, but it's to Pachura who tries to thump it home. Has the opportunity to pick it up. Can't do so. Once again into a pack of players, and there'll be a bounce down on the left half forward flank for the Double Blues. 18-11, 119 the Double Blues. The Doggies 15-6, 96, and we're approaching the 25-minute mark of this final quarter. Umpire throws the ball up. Burton v. Muller. Burton got rid of Muller with a push in the back. The ball spills out to Scotty Lee. He loses it. Danny Holm goes in there. He tries to keep the ball back to a teammate. Can't do so. Burton's got the opportunity. He handballed to Jones, but he's under enormous pressure. It wasn't Jones. In fact, it may have been Lennon. And once again, we'll have a bounce down on that left half forward flank. This time just inside the attacking 50 for the Double Blues.
Well, yeah, it's just inside. The game's really all over at this stage. It's a 25-minute mark of this last quarter. Burton's been good for the Double Blues. Up they go. And Muller again in front position, knocks the ball down to Holm. Holm with a absolute shocking kick comes out towards the boundary line and will go out of bounds right in front of the 5RPH commentary team. And this is 5RPH football brought to you by Good Better Bosch, the Torrens Arms Hotel.
He's limping too, Holm. I don't think he's travelling 100%.
No, certainly not. Muller again in front position, gets rid of his Sturt opponent, but no, the big fella there in Conway does very well. And it gets a quick handball over there to McEwen. No, Pachura, and Pachura couldn't take it. And again, the ball is going to roll. No, it's not going to roll out of bounds. It stays in board, and a quick screw punt back in. And the big fella there in McEwen does do very well. Again, the ball comes through the Central's player. He kicks a hurried ball back in. Bellows up. Can he take the mark? No, he can't. Spoils the ball down, though. And that's the big fella there for the Double Blues. Again, is McEwen, who holds the ball up. And we'll quickly check scores from around the grounds, courtesy of Michelle's patisserie.
Eagles 17-13, 115, leading Port 10-8, 68. South 11-14, 80, lead North 7-15, 57. And Norwood to fit the front. Norwood 12-10, 82. Lead West 11-10, 76. Those scores thanks to Michelle's patisserie at Arndale. Back to Adelaide.
Doing some wonderful scores there, Peter and Jenny back in the studio. Thanks for your help today. It's been outstanding. The scores here, 18, 11, 119. That's the Double Blue score. They lead Central's 15 goals, 696. And the ball hasn't travelled around from about 15 metres along the wing in the last 2 or 3 minutes with not much actioning happening.
Yes, the sting's certainly gone out of the game. It hasn't helped the Central's cause by Gowans and McGowan going off the field, both with cut eyes. And a ruck throw in. Over the top comes Bruce Lennon, who's certainly a contender for the trailing building supply player of the day. Home on one leg, kicks it forward. Can we get a mark? Yes, we certainly can. Guerra takes a mark just off the foot of his bootlaces. The crowd's not happy with it. He's going to have a shot for his fourth goal, but I think he's far too out. He's looking for a lead. Lead goes into the pocket. Doesn't give McCardle much of an opportunity, but he turns around on the right foot. He's 2-on-1, and Smithy goes out of bounds for a throw-in.
Yeah, it's interesting that McCardle would lead to that sort of area. I mean, Corey Wingard did make the mention before that they are very deep pockets, very similar to Corey's deep pockets that he has in his trousers.
Exactly right, and it's Corey's bye for the first beer in the Chapel Bar after the game. We've got a throw-in. Big Damien Arnold takes it off the pack, kicks forward, and that man that we've spoken about just before, McCardle, in front. It's the best place to be on an afternoon where the ball is wet and heavy, and also when it's going to drop forward. He's going to line up for his second goal this afternoon. Beg your pardon, his fourth goal. Can't even look right at my budget.
You're having a good day, and you did work in a bank.
Yeah, and I did work in a bank, and he's off one step, pushed it to the left, and the crowd give him the Bronx cheer. Nothing's going right for Central this last quarter, Corey, and the fat lady, she's on the stage.
Yes, I think she's really just ready to rock and roll whenever you give her the cue. Undies, it's your call. But look, I tell you what, a very high standard of game all the same. I mean, Centrals, you've always felt they could get back in this. They've always been a chance, but to Sturt's credit, they've held on, and I just want to remind you blokes that I tipped Sturt at the start of the day. All right, Sturt, bring that now to the outer side. Half-back flank of pack forms, but the ball goes over the back. I thought you said Centrals. You're not bad at changing your bet, are you, Smithy? I'll tell you what.
Well, the game's not over yet. Are you allowed to change?
I want to check the tape.
I can quickly tell you that a former Sturt player now playing at Salisbury's at 100 on him at 22-10. Will be very happy after they close the business.
Beautiful. There we go. The ball's thrown in on the far side there in front of the Victor Richardson gate. It comes down to the Centrals and they kick it forward. The centre half forward. Creative contest. Daniel Healy goes up, comes down. Brody Atkinson, I think it was. No, it wasn't Atkinson. It was Power. I apologise. It comes up with the ball, turns it inside, but can only pick out the opposition captain in Holm. He then lifts his eyes and goes up forward trying to find an option. Caven it is that comes over the back of McCardle. A bit of, how do you do? The blokes just have a bit of a kiss and a cuddle, and the ball goes on. It goes into that very deep pocket we talk about. Very unusual, that pocket. I mentioned it earlier in the day. I think it's the only place in the world you can be 45 metres out and have to kick a check side because you can't see daylight between the posts. Absolutely amazing. But that's where it is, and the umpire will throw it in. He gives himself a couple of metres leeway from the boundary line, and he gives it a big roost. Up it comes. The ruckman, it falls a bit short. The ruckman set themselves. Arnold, it is, tries to get a big slap around in front, but again, the players still finding very hard. You've got to commend them for that. A Sturt player can't pick it up who it is, but he gets a ball to boot very quickly. Sprays off the side. I think it was Geddes. Sprays off the side and goes out of bounds on the full. And young James Gowans, it will take the resulting free kick. He looks to do the disciplined thing and centre it to the top of the square. The top of the goal square, the players set themselves, the pack forms, and it comes to ground. Brody's held onto as the ball escapes, but the umpire doesn't see it that way. It comes out the flag, pulls the balls away, and the siren sounds. There it is on the Times Arms Hotel scoreboard. Final scores: Sturt 18-11, 119. Defeat Centrals 15-7, 97.
And goal scores for the Double Blues. Stephen White up forward with 5. A great effort by him. Corey Jones with 3 and 2 magnificent goals. Both stats, absolutely outstanding performance by him. And then he had 2 there to Brody Atkinson, 2 to Michael Curtis, and 2 to Seamus Maloney, the centre half back, chipping in with 2. And singles there to Dean Woodham, Jared Sweat, Brucey Lennon, and also Mark Ventura kicking a goal for the Central District side, they had a couple with 3. You had Sam McCardle with 3, Stewie Jew with 3, and Brent Guerrero with 3. And then singles there to Scotty Lee, Keenan Ford, Chris Gowns, Rick McGowan, David Lillico, James Gowans. And the final scores here at the Adelaide Oval, you've got Sturt, 18 goals, 11, 119. They defeated Central's 15 goals, 797 on the Torrens Arts Hotel scoreboard as the Sturt theme song goes into the background. And Corey,